People, people, people,
People, people, people,
please.
please, please, pay attention.
Howdy, folks. It is your favorite panel, the People's Debate. We are live and in action on this beautiful Wednesday evening. Now, we have a different kind of vibe going today. As you know, my birds were in the Super Bowl. And not only that, they won the Super Bowl. So we're going to switch it up, and I'm doing the intro today. So, for everyone that's watching, welcome to the People's Debate, and welcome to the Philly Special Edition. I'm kidding, I just made that up on the back end. But we will be talking about the Super Bowl. But before I do, let me introduce myself if you don't know who I am. I am the man of many names, Genie Jalen, Sheriff West, Mr. 82%, Jalen A. Smith. I think that's it. But yeah, I'm a man of many names. Also, I'm a featured guest here on the People's Debate, but I also have my own talk show called Drop the Mic on TikTok. So make sure you follow me there. And my username, if I can get this right, is JalenWest _. Is that? I don't think that's right. I don't know, but but yes,
Show number 35. We're trying to get it right.
I don't know. It's either dot underscore or underscore dot. Either way, you're gonna see a beautiful picture of me on the profile picture, so you know you're at the right place. But also, before we get this show started, Milton always does my favorite part of the show, where he gives all the praise and the glory to the Most High, and I want to do the same thing. I'm very, very thankful that I get to be here on this panel with these guys here. I look forward to it every Wednesday, and I thank God that we're able to be in health and we're all in a very good mental space and everything to be here. So I want to give praise to the Most High, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. And then now, I'm done yapping. That was the intro. I'm going to pass it to the host with the most, Milton.
Well, great, dude. I mean, that was fantastic. No hiccups and nothing. Yeah, give them a round of applause. Anybody out there. But this is the People's Debate. Like he said, the beautiful panel that we have. We are live. It is Wednesday, February 12th. And Super Bowl talk, NFL honors talk. Is Jalen Hurts a top 10 quarterback? We'll talk about it. We will talk about it. Everybody that's there now, which I don't think anybody, everybody that was here and everybody that will be showing up later, everybody that watches this back, much love and appreciation. Thank you. Jalen already said it. Our creator, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, deserves all the glory. So, Joe, Cody, Jalen, it is a pleasure to be here with you. How you guys doing? We already know how Jalen's doing, so.
Oh, I'm doing amazing, man. Wednesday here with my boys, usually get the day off for Wednesdays. It's daddy-daughter day. We took her to Peter Piper's today. She tore it up. Can't appreciate more than anything like that.
I'm doing just as good. Only thing I'm not looking forward to is this cold freeze coming in. That's coming in slowly but surely. As far as work going, it was going good today. I got off early, so that was a plus. And I've just been kicking back since, deciding if Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback or not.
Very, very good. Any new news since we've last spoke? Anybody is up for grabs here?
Shoot, no, it's just sad, man. The NFL season is officially ended. Sad.
That is tough. I was just thinking about that. I said, what am I going to do every weekend now?
Like, I don't know what to do now. So I'm like, hey,
the realization after the Super Bowl is over, it hurts so much because, like, I'm excited, obviously. I'm cheering. And then the next day, you're like, all right, off season. So football's over.
Now it's the draft not till April. So
yeah. Now until April, all we have left to do is speculation and going over what we saw, hopefully with the same lenses. So it is an unfortunate part of the year, but we'll make something work out of it. Now, the first things first, we'll go over 2-3 pieces of news with Joe. Then we'll jump right into Super Bowl 59 recap talk.
Yeah, so let's start off with the news, man. Congratulations to little Kellen Moore, the OC of the then Super Bowl winning champion, the Philadelphia Eagles. Now he's gonna go and move his talents to the Big Easy, to New Orleans, where he just won a Super Bowl in. So let's see what happens there. Let's see if Derek Carr's even the quarterback next season in New Orleans. See what happens there. What do y'all grade this move on like an A through F scale?
Yeah, your boy's gonna give it an F, and I'm gonna give it an F for personal reason.
Oh,
It's-
right on.
This is personal,
Okay.
okay? Because Jalen Hurts once again has to go get a whole another OC. It's happened since his college days, since he was at Bama, Oklahoma. I don't know, but it's been happening for years. I know every year in the NFL, he's had a different OC every year. And when we finally again get to the big stage, and this time we win it, somebody has to leave. It's like this is why teams don't build dynasties anymore, because people just up and leave, and I don't like it. So I'm giving it an F, the fattest F you can give it, and it's the first move of the offseason. F. I don't like it.
What do you think, Cody?
I give it like a B minus. Overall, I don't know what it's really gonna prove because the Saints ain't gonna do squat. So they're gonna play quarterback roulette probably for the next 5 years. So
Dang.
Okay. Well, I give it a C.
yeah, I
Just
was about
because-
to give it that. Yeah.
Yeah, C's like I pretty much second your point, Cody, on I don't think it does much. It doesn't move the needle much. Joe, like you said, I don't know if Derek Carr's coming back or not. Or are they gonna? They don't have a lot of cap space, so one of their issues as the season progressed was offensive line depth. How are they gonna fix that? I don't know. So Kellen Moore is a conservative play caller, which I've seen Derek Carr play conservative 10 plus years. Don't like it. I want something new, possibly, but we're not getting that. We'll see. Him mixed in with their OC, with the second year under the new OC, Cliff, whatever his name is.
That's if he brings him back.
Yeah, well, he should. I hope he does. That would be kind of crazy if he doesn't. But yeah, we'll see. I give it a C. What do you think, Joe?
I would give it a C minus just because he's coming in hot. Hopefully that winning attitude comes into New Orleans, because this is a very winnable division. That's what we got to remember. I'm like, Baker Mayfield has played good, but is Baker Mayfield's high that he's been on the past couple seasons finally going to come down? Atlanta, Kirk Cousins' experiment didn't work. How is Michael Penix going to do? And the Panthers, they're the Panthers for all means. So this division's up for grabs.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so moving on. So the Aaron Rodgers relationship with the New York Jets is officially over. They informed him they were not going to bring him back. So now he's going to be looking for a new team. Let's see where he ends up. I don't know where he goes from here. Where do y'all think he ends up? And what do you think about this move for the Jets side?
Go ahead, Jalen.
You said me?
Yep.
Yeah. Retirement home. That's
Right.
what I hope he goes next. I hope he retires. And I'm talking about retirement home for the NFL, not retirement home in civilian life. Because guys, I'm gonna be honest. We watch quarterbacks like C.J. Stroud, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. Like, we're watching that, then we turn and look to the Jets, and we're watching a 40-year-old off an Achilles injuries. I don't want to see that no more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, defensive lines are too good, too fast, too athletic for that pocket present quarterback nowadays. You can't be that anymore. Listen, Aaron Rodgers, we love the discount double check Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Aaron Rodgers. We love that Aaron Rodgers, the Super Bowl champ that he is. Much love and respect to him. But, man, let it go. You're not going to do much for a franchise at this point besides do something you don't want to do, and that's mold the next person up. You don't want to do that.
That's
So
fair.
just retire.
Okay. Cody, Joe, and I'll save it for last.
Yeah, time to go coach at Aldine Westfield Middle School, home of the Mustangs. Time to find something new. I don't think he'll make it in the broadcast route like Brady, so I think he's better off going to figure out where he wants to move next. I think he still want to be in football. I think he's too lost in the sauce still to give football up, but I don't know, man, as far as NFL, where he could fit anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, with me, I'm glad for the Jets that they're gonna probably try to make it into a relevant franchise, possibly. Aaron Glenn, I'm glad they did not hinder him with the cancer to a team, and I'm just glad they did that. I'm glad Woody Johnson said, you know what, Aaron Glenn, we're gonna give you the keys to this kingdom, and we do not want the other Aaron with you. I think Aaron Rodgers is probably gonna end up with one of two teams, and that's either the Las Vegas Raiders or the Tennessee Titans. So let's see what happens there.
Okay. Before I go ahead, Cody. I saw you shaking your head. Tell me.
Titans be the only one to do it. The Raiders, no. The Raiders not going for that. But the Titans,
Vegas.
I could see maybe the Titans or something.
I'm like, it's Vegas. They want an attraction. You got to think about it like that.
Tom Brady not going for that.
That's where it can get tricky because he might.
He'd rather go link up with Dion and draft his son before he go after Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, we got to bring in. You talking ticket sales? You know what I mean?
Right. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Now, one, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to retire, nor need be. I don't think he needs to retire. I get watching the games were unappealing 100% and lackluster, to say better, just because, in my opinion, it was expectations that almost all of us had. Bless you. Now, when it comes to Aaron Rodgers' play, we can't act like he didn't have 28 touchdowns, only 11 interceptions. It's not like he has fallen off a cliff. So I think he definitely can be a starting quarterback in this league. Now, if people are saying he fell off a cliff because of what he used to do, sure, fine. But 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions is better than a lot of quarterbacks this year on this panel that played, as far as teams that have played. So I don't think it is time for him.
Geno Smith had a better year than Aaron Rodgers.
Geno Smith had a better year than a lot of other quarterbacks too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
I don't want to be there.
This is at the point of Aaron Rodgers' career, and all the other quarterbacks you can name are not 42 or whatever Aaron Rodgers is. So there's a point where age factors in, and it's not even good for a team to invest in a 42-year-old that is really injury prone still. I don't care how last year went; he's still injury prone.
So Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm about to say just 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. I get the numbers behind it, sure. I mean, it's like when you do that ratio, it is a lot better than a lot of quarterbacks in the league, but it wasn't a part of winning football. So I think that's the part I'm getting to. That those numbers are cool, but again, Aaron Rodgers is going, unless it's on a win now team, because he has to be on a win now team. I don't see any win now team that Aaron Rodgers will go to. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to have to be an investment over years. And like Cody's point, who wants to spend money on Aaron Rodgers at 42 right now for 2 years? Like, who wants to do that?
Right.
So
I'm not mad at that. So
with that, do you all think? So let me throw this out there then. A team that's on the cusp, possibly they have the roster. I feel like if you give them a decent quarterback, they have a shot. Pittsburgh Steelers.
No.
Why, Cody?
Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin.
It sounds Aaron Rodgers, I think, is okay with, being subordinate. It just has to make sense. If your stats are, Mike McCarthy, or your stats are Matt LaFleur, who are you, Matt LaFleur? Now we know who Matt LaFleur is. But at the time, who are you, Matt LaFleur? Or head coach being Robert Saleh, which has one of the worst head coaching records at that point, right? He's not going to be very subordinate to those guys. A guy in Mike Tomlin, I think he will have no problem saying, all right, coach, for sure, I'll do that. All right, coach, let's talk about it. All right, for sure. Now, I am being optimistic, of course, but
definitely.
for sure. But Jalen, I love your point because you're right. When it comes to where Aaron Rodgers makes sense to go, the two teams that Joe named initially aren't going to be a win now team. Tennessee's not. AFC South is somewhat open, but Houston Texans getting
They're gonna run.
I mean, they should. So
Also,
Texans, go ahead.
Also, ask yourself: is Aaron Rodgers even enough anymore to turn a team that's just missing a quarterback to a Super Bowl team? If not, then you're not going to sign him anyways. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers is enough anymore at his age and at quarterback position to bring the team to a Super Bowl just off him joining.
Off of the last, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, if you just put him on another contender like the Steelers or something, I don't think he is enough. I think Russell Wilson or whatever gave you probably your best shot out of them two.
Well, I think Justin Fields did, but that's all another.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The whatever, I
get it.
That's what I was about to say about the Steelers move. As soon as you said that, the names sound good. Aaron Rodgers, Mike Tomlin. That does sound good. But here's looking at the Steelers. One is not just they're not a quarterback away. They need a running back. They need wide receivers. They need weapons. So they're not just a quarterback away, in my opinion. Two, where the struggle with the Steelers was extending plays. And that's why Justin Fields looked good and was playing winning football with the Steelers because he was extending plays. It didn't come to like the very end where Russell was like, oh, I have to get out this pocket because in today's football, you can't just sit in the pocket. And so I feel like Aaron Rodgers going to the Steelers still doesn't make sense because he doesn't have that ability no more to extend plays. And that's what you have to do in today's football is extend plays. So that move doesn't even make sense to me personally. It doesn't.
I will say, well, one, I don't necessarily disagree. For the majority of the season, you're right. Towards the end of the season, this is where stats aren't everything. I'm a stat guy, but stats aren't everything. It's like Joe likes to say, the eye test, right? So the eye test showed Aaron Rodgers actually getting out of the pocket, extending plays. You know what I mean? So he was coming off an Achilles injury. He is 40 plus years old. I think with a better offensive line, a more competent offensive line, he could still extend plays. Probably not to the 20. We forget MVP season was 2020, 2021.
Yeah,
it wasn't that far. It wasn't that long ago.
That's why he still thinks he can play.
That's you're not wrong on. I think his ego's crazy. You know what I mean? I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. But I like I was saying with Jalen's point, I definitely don't see him going to a non-contender. Now, and also to your point, what contenders would want in 40-plus-year-old Aaron Rodgers? That's a tough one. I don't know. Yeah. Joe, you brought up a good one in Pittsburgh. I think they're the favorite as far as Vegas odds. But Jalen, to your point, they need more than just a quarterback. But they have the cap space compared to some of these other teams.
Screw it. He's going to just do the Brett Favre thing and go to Minnesota now.
That would make more sense to me. That would make more sense to me.
You'll like that, huh? Okay, I thought I'd put that up there. You're like, all right, Jose from the Pudo Pinche Sports. The Giants can sign him and he can go across the stadium to the other locker room since they could get him for the minimum. That's also true. No, you're not going to necessarily pay for Aaron Rodgers money. You can pay the minimum. The Jets have to
do the Russell Wilson thing.
Yep. The Jets will be paying for Rodgers for the next 2 years. He can sign the minimum anywhere. It's also true. Caleb, how you doing, brother? All right. I don't know. Elisa, hey, mommy, I'm not putting that out here. Do y'all see that? Do y'all see the comments?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll put it
the
real
Caleb
quick.
one I saw. Suck. What?
Suck. What is?
You can't be putting this on. You got to.
I'm doing it real quick.
I'm gonna say it was up there for us.
Jose, take that out for us.
Yeah, take that out,
Jose. Jose, if you're there,
ban that person.
I'm not gonna say ban because it gave us a view.
Or mute him.
Alisa is mommy. If you like this, you can stay.
That was a Diddy line.
Right. Hold on. Caleb can't hang around long, busy, but fly Eagles fly. Caleb has been a Eagles fan. We went to school together since East Central, so he is one of those diehard Eagle fans that I honestly can't stand. But Jalen, I like you more. So Caleb, thank you for being here, though, brother. Make sure you give a like, Hey, if you got a YouTube, make sure you follow us. Okay, subscribe, please.
I literally remember meeting Jalen at Heritage Middle School, and finding out he was an Eagles fan. Me and him would argue all the time, but it was just funny, like going back and forth back in the day when we were kids.
I thought we met at Salado.
Nah, I didn't go to the district till 7th grade.
That's right. I feel like we were all just one big family. In my head, we all went to elementary, intermediate, middle school, and all that together. But I forgot people came in at like different times.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I mean, I don't know. But I do remember that. Like, I was like the only real Philly fan in the whole damn school.
Well, that makes sense.
You and Ryan.
Yeah, well, he wasn't as prideful as I was. He got prideful in adulthood. He wasn't out loud.
That's funny.
Like,
well, that makes sense. They all started getting more success, and I would say.
You like the video?
Hey, you read it and weep, please. Otherwise, you're gone. You're gone. Is there any other news?
So the only other news I want to bring up is Joe Burrow is opening up to restructuring his contract. And this is big because I know Jamar Chase wants some money. No, T. Higgins wants some money. So I guess he wants to try to keep his buddies around so he can try to win offensively. I feel like as long as you have Jamar Chase there, you're gonna have a shot to win the game. T. Higgins, he's gonna want wide receiver one like money, so it's gonna be interesting to see how that offense looks next season.
Boo.
I third that. Okay. They don't like us. We don't care. Same goes for you, Patriots.
They not like us.
All right.
That's one of the things we say as Philly fans. As no one likes us, we don't care.
Yeah. Well, there's a. You know what? We'll talk about it later. All right.
Philly versus everybody.
Needs to come to Houston.
Good job, Cody. Good job.
Oh yeah, that's it. Because I got all the money to pay T. Higgins now.
Yeah, we can pay T. Higgins a little bread. You know what I mean?
Y'all don't need another wide receiver. God.
Yeah.
Well, technically they do. You don't know what happens with Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you, you don't need another. Nico can carry a lot in that wide receiver game. You don't need another receiver, bro. You need to get that O-line first. You get the O-line.
Right on. Agreed.
We know, but the O-line's harder to fix.
100%.
Get to it.
No, it's gonna take.
You're now on year 3 of CJ Stroud's rookie contract.
You gotta get him while he's cheap. Come on,
and you're on year 1 of Dak's ridiculous contract.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not even talking. Hey, I'm coming in with low expectations next time.
Oh, that's good. I love it, Joe. Good.
No, that's not the Cowboy way.
Hey,
no, Jalen wants to. No.
I'm gonna end up saying, hey, we're gonna win 10 wins, wild card. We're gonna shock the world.
Your boy Dak said y'all right there with Philly right now. So,
bro, I was like, is he sipping the same drink that Jerry Jones is sipping now? I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Sure. Come on.
I'm like,
he's sipping the same juice that Michael Parsons when he's like, if you take away the touchdowns and you take away the big plays,
they need to take away the microphone from that guy. Like,
you gotta pick one. You can't really be both. Shout out to Michael Parsons though.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a dog, but still.
Before we get into Super Bowl 59 recap talk, y'all got any other news that y'all want to put out there before we start?
No, I ain't got
deserve it. It's your day. It's all right. Okay. Well, Super Bowl 59. I mean, 22. Kansas City loses to Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles win their second overall championship, 40-22. The score, I think all of us know, the score does not do that justice.
No.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. 0% chance that score. Yeah. 100%. Even stats. Yeah. Yes. I don't know who posted it. I think it was you, Cody. I don't know. Was it you, Cody? Or Jose. I think it was you maybe as well. There's these memes going around like, oh, people are forgetting of Xavier Worthy's such and such 100+ yards receiving.
It didn't matter.
It was all done when it was like 34-0. So
we literally had our JV in.
Yeah. So
Kenny Pickett got on the field.
Right. Like we had
Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
Like that's crazy. In the Super Bowl, we had a back. That's why nobody talk like that. Like him getting the most receiving yards in the game. That's a watered down record. Like no, like for everyone that's going to really remember the Super Bowl and not just look at the numbers of it, we all know that came on some BS. End of the game, the Eagles just trying to run the clock out. Literally, no starters on defense are on the field. Like
Right.
he did that against it. And the thing is, what's crazy? He caught that touchdown pass in our secondary safety. He was still right there. He just couldn't make the play. But it's not like it was like anything super crazy. So I'm just like, that's why it goes unrecognized because it was in the most garbage of garbage time things I've ever seen in my life.
100%. Yeah. I mean, we all know. And if ever we have to talk about it, we'll talk about it because this is just, Jose, I see your comment. I'm going to save it for a little bit. So stick around because it'll flow into what we're going to discuss in a couple of minutes. So my question to you fellas is, Jalen, I'll wait just a little bit. Let me get to Joe and Cody. Tell me when you knew, what was the moment? Everybody has a different moment. What was the moment you knew this game was over? Cody, I'll have you go first, brother.
It was a turnover by Patrick Mahomes. I can't remember. It was the pick six. That's what it was. Yeah. When the pick six happened, yeah, I knew all momentum was gone. You just saw the team, the offense at least, look lifeless. The defense tried their ass off, but I mean, they got tired out for sure. But the offense, you just saw like look depleted. Everybody walking down with their heads down. Look at that puppy look on their face. They knew it was over, and so did everybody watching.
Yeah, I agree. Joe, when was the moment for you, brother?
For me, it was the second pick. Whenever they almost did a second pick six. Once I knew that, and then after Patrick Mahomes got off the field, you could just tell in his demeanor, it was just like, it's going to be a long day for us fellas here in the office. And you could just see it all throughout the day, the way he was just like moving around in the pocket, quick feet the rest of the night.
Mine was a little bit later. I spoke with Jalen off air. I waited long just because it's Patrick Mahomes. Of course, now hindsight's 2020. The writing was on the wall. I honestly, Cody, to your point, from the pick six, it's kind of the writing was on the wall. But I would say on there, they got the ball to enter the second half, and they went 3 and out. That was when I said, yeah, this is done. There's nothing there. If y'all scored, obviously it probably wouldn't have meant nothing. But still, it's momentum. They had to. You went 3 and out. Not just didn't score. You went 3 and out on your first go out of halftime. All the adjustments were made. Pat Mahomes is there, and you went 3 and out. So that was when I realized that this game is probably over. Now, Jalen, as the Philly fan, you were definitely more of a humble Philly fan than most Philly fans. When did you know that the game was over?
So I actually have 2 incidents. One's pregame and one is during the game. I'm being so serious.
Okay, talk about it.
So one is actually before, it was a few days before the game happened. Jalen Hurts was walking. It was during the Super Bowl media, whatever. Jalen Hurts is walking through like a tunnel, and there's a TV up there that has the score it has the highlights from the last Super Bowl in 2022. He looks at it and just goes, That set the tone for me right there. I said, to me, I guess as a Philly fan, I felt like he was like too locked in. So that was one moment I was like, I think we really got this. But of course, I'm not going to say it out loud. But humbly at home, I was like, I think we got this Super Bowl. Because one thing about Jalen Hurts, he listens to all the media and everything. And he's kind of like, I'm not trying to be funny, he's kind of like how I am. When people feed off me negative things, I just take it and turn that into a positive, show you like you were stupid for telling me that I couldn't do this. Because now look, I do it better than what you can. You know what I mean? So I saw that first. Including that was pregame. That's why I felt good. Now, when I knew it was over during the game, it's when they trying to watch my words. It's that strip sack when it looked like Jalen Carter comes through and punches the shit out of the ball, and you hear it. Like you see the strip sack, and then you see boom. That's when I was like, it's over. Like this is done. And I actually felt sorry for Pat Mahomes at that point. I was like, this is done. Like this is the white towel going in. You know what I mean? Like that game's over.
I would say, not to be nitpicky, but I think the strip sack was Milton Williams. I think he was the one to.
Yeah. Milton Williams stripped the ball, but Jalen Carter's the one that hit him in the face.
Afterwards.
Yeah,
Right
hit him in the face. If you watch it in regular motion, it looks like Jalen Carter just punched him in the face, and you hear it, and it's just like now. I actually felt
Right.
whenever I feel sorry for the opponent, that's when I know, like, that's when you know it's over. Like,
Yeah,
it's
for
not much of, oh, let's go whoop they butt, let's go do this, let's go do that. Now I'm like, oh, all right, ease up on Pat a little bit. Okay, the game's over. Now the game's over for sure. Like, that's when I knew, okay, game over. Like, because I know I give respect to the Chiefs. We've seen crazy shit. To start their dynasty started 0-24. Sorry, Cody, but against the Texans. That's where it initially started. So me knowing that, I'm not too excited at halftime. I can tell you that. I'm not jumping up and down. Like Milton, we talked at halftime, and I told you, I said, but I am still, like, I don't feel comfortable yet.
Yeah,
I didn't feel
that was
comfortable to that strip sack. That's when I actually felt comfortable because I know Pat Mahomes and them do some wicked stuff. So, yeah, that's when I feel good.
Very good. Jose off the Pudo Pinche Sports. When the bench had no fight in them, Jones, Mahomes, Kelsey were all quiet before the half. That's when he knew. Fair enough. All right. Now, Jalen, this question is posed to you. Who do you believe deserves the biggest portion? And if y'all have a different answer, of course, chime in after. Who deserves the biggest portion of the credit in your Philadelphia Eagle opinion, please?
Man, if I keep it 100, bro, like, no bias, no nothing.
No narrative, nothing. Just
nothing. But you talking about like the Super Bowl MVP, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just say who deserves the biggest portion of the credit of the win, the way of victory, et cetera, et cetera.
I gotta say that D line, because without that D line, nothing else is possible. When you cause havoc up front, that makes everybody on the back look that much better. I give my utmost respect to that D line. That D line was amazing. Vic Fangio, I give credit to him as well. I think they were such in sync in film, whatever, all week. Because to be able, guys, to send 4 all day, only 4, and get 6 sacks and drop back 7 people is asinine, bro. Like, I don't think people that don't really analyze the game know how crazy that really is. To send 4 and get pressure like you're sending 6, but you're dropping 7 in coverage. There's nothing you can do in when they play Madden. They used to call it a nano blitz because it's an unfair blitz because you're getting pressure like you're getting extra people in there, but there's nobody open downfield. That's exactly what that was. So that all starts with the D line. So most credit to the D line. That was a crazy performance.
Yeah. Again, I don't know who I spoke with. I think Joe and Jalen. I think it was actually Jose on the comments. If there wasn't Pat Mahomes behind that offensive line, they would have had 10 plus sacks. It would have been one of these record kind of things because Pat Mahomes got out of a lot and didn't do anything. Don't get me wrong, but he didn't get sacked. You know what I mean? So kudos to the defensive line. Vic Fangio had an amazing game plan for a quarterback and an offensive mind in Andy Reid that I don't think any of us really saw coming. I've been high on Vic Fangio. I've been high on the Eagles defense, but in a Super Bowl, of course, I had the Eagles winning, but I didn't think that they would be able to just completely have the Chiefs in disarray, like on both sides. Don't get me wrong. Offensive play calling for the Chiefs helped, in my opinion. What did they ran the ball twice before halftime?
Three times. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That's wild. I think on Jose on your podcast, I didn't like. Well, it is what it is. But one of your panel members said, "Well, it's hard to run the ball." He's a Chiefs fan. It's hard to run the ball when you're behind. It's all before. Yeah. We're talking before. Like your first couple drives, you did not run the ball.
So, there's no rhythm.
I mean, the Eagles would have started out punching them in the mouth like me and Jalen were talking about if they didn't have that BS call. So it was really going to be a route from the start.
The AJ Brown one.
Yes. So if they don't call
it was pretty nitpicky. Yeah.
Bro, if they don't call that, bro, oh my, bro, that's 50 right there on them. Honestly, like, you know, that's another touchdown we got to take it away. But yeah,
that's fair. But do y'all have any additions to Jalen giving the lion's share of the credit to the defensive line?
Vic Fangio, man, finally gets to get back. I think he was like 0-8 against Pat Mahomes. So I know his mindset was like, I do not want this guy to beat me once again. And that front four, man, is lethal. Them Georgia dogs that are in the middle, man, they ate. They weren't how Jalen would go a roof all on that offensive line. And to think about it, their best offensive lineman, they had to move to left tackle. He
And
would
that showed.
Joe
Showed.
Tooney,
Yeah.
and he would be a guard in the middle. So just imagine. I would think they would have tried to put him back with his natural position. I know
Right.
left tackle. You know, you kind of need that for Pat's blindside, so he doesn't get absolutely wrecked. But put him back in that so he can fend off those dogs coming up the middle. And you know, I would have thought they would have tried to do that, but
Yeah, y'all's big body in the inside was feasting. Not saying Joe Tooney would have made a difference. He definitely would have made a difference. But for Kansas City not to switch things up, like you see these three Milton Williams, Jalen Carter, and Jordan Davis, just feasting. All they would do. I know y'all watch, but Jalen, I know you were watching. Like what? What's the thing called? Magnifying
magnifying glasses.
Thank you. All right. Or what did you say? Stethoscope?
Stethoscope.
All right. But I know you're watching closely, and a lot of times Milton Williams or Jordan Davis, even Jalen Carter as well, would literally just put a hand in their chest and push them back. That's it. That's just that's not something. It just shows the toughness, and I don't know, man. It was Milton Williams had maybe 3 or 4 really outstanding games this year. Yeah. And he left. And Jordan Davis, same thing. I think he's an amazing talent, but he was very inconsistent. Some games it's like, what is he even doing, right? But this game, everybody came to play. On your edge. Go ahead.
I was like, so my co-host, he would call with Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter and not Milton. What's the guy's name?
Nolan Smith.
Huh?
Nolan Smith?
No, the other guy you just named.
Milton Williams.
Milton, yeah. So what they were doing, Terrence likes to call that fatherless activities. So these are 3.
Oh, brilliant. Terrence is brilliant, brother.
Whenever a D-line dominates an offensive line like that, and he calls that fatherless activities, because the way they out there hunting for Patrick Mahomes, you can't do that with a father around. So that's crazy. That's what Terrence calls that domination is fatherless activities. And I just wanted to say that because I think that's the funniest thing that anybody could have said. Because he called me, he's like, I just saw a bunch of fatherless activities going on with that Eagles. Okay. I said, don't ever say that again. He even said, maybe I should step out of my kitchen.
Yes.
And I was like, stop.
Yes. Kept it going. I mean, that's something you have to clip out. That is hilarious, dude. Yeah, you were the reasonable. You said, hey, you got to stop. You got to stop, man, please.
But yes, that was crazy. Where they're able to fill gaps, get pressured, everything like that. It is insane. All of that was crazy.
Yeah, brilliant. Now, Kansas City. Let's talk about Kansas City real quick before we, at the end, we'll hype up the Eagles and their feet, right? But with Kansas City, Cody, let me ask you, who deserves the most lion's share of blame? Of course, it's a team sport. I understand that. Not one person deserves 90% or anything like that, unless you're, like a Jared Goff throwing 5 interceptions or something like that. But tell me, who do you think deserves most of the blame for Kansas City, the loss?
I'm gonna put most of the blame on the offensive line just because of that sheer fact. It seemed like they didn't even want to play. Like at some point, dude, your quarterback getting knocked down every other play. You don't want to muscle up something like
hold.
Yeah, and then I also put a lot of blame though. I feel like I got to put on Andy Reid. Like when you came out of halftime, I felt like it was no switch. You didn't even try to do like no trick play, something to catch them off, maybe get a 20-yard gain. No, we're just gonna mess around and give this one up. That's what it seemed like. So I don't know. Is Andy Reid tend to not be a good halftime motivator for his team or what? Like
I wouldn't say motivator, but he adjusts normally. So it's kind of it was weird. It was off.
This was bad. Yeah, that's what I would say. I'd say both the O-line players. Just not, stepping up at least to do something, show some effort, and then Andy Reid.
Okay. Do you second that, Joe, or do you have different
Yeah,
blame?
so I would go with the coaching staff because there was a lot of times where both sides of the ball were getting like unnecessary penalties in years past. You wouldn't see out of like a Andy Reid coach team. You saw a lot of false starts, a lot of like holding penalties or other stuff that was just out of character for a Andy Reid led team. It was just kind of surprising to me. Like they looked like they were frustrated and they were letting their emotions get the best of them, like losing. It's almost like a guy who's always winning is like a sore sport, and he's finally like crying in front of everybody now.
Right. Yeah. So I actually second what Jose says. I think most of the blame, in my opinion, is Mahomes. Reed, Kelsey 10, O-line 20. I give the O-line a bit more. So, like, I would say 40, 30. I'll leave Kelsey out of it because I just think Kelsey's a little washed anyway. I don't know why people expected much after already seeing, like, he didn't do, other than against the Bills, he didn't do nothing really spectacular. Pat Mahomes, I think we all could agree. One, he was under duress, yes. And this has to do with being under duress all game, but he made a lot of poor decisions. A lot of poor decisions. So the last time we saw, or at least that I can remember, y'all can clarify. Y'all can challenge me if I'm wrong. Last time we saw a team only rushing for and with success was against the Patriots when Justin Tuck, all them assholes were rushing Tom, and we lost our undefeated season. Sorry,
but it still hurts him.
Oh man, I'm telling you, dude, because it was just, anyways, that Super Bowl, right? But the difference is, especially because this whole GOAT thing, we'll talk about it a little bit. Tom Brady's fourth quarter, where it mattered, he had a good fourth quarter. He made adjustments. He's not, he can't move. He can't adjust that, but he can adjust. All right, I got to get it off quickly. Okay, I got to scoot this way. I got to do this. He made adjustments and had a good fourth quarter. It didn't matter. Helmet catch, whatever. But with Mahomes, it seemed like he couldn't. And don't get me wrong. When D-Hop dropped that open ball, yeah, that wasn't Mahomes. But after the pick six, and then the other interception, it's just like I don't understand what he was doing. And there wasn't much he can do, but he legitimately was holding on to the ball too long. He was going back further than he should. You're going to get sacked anyway. You might as well just step up, right? But, I mean, it's easy for me to say on the couch. But, yeah, I would say Mahomes, in my opinion, deserved majority of the blame. Now, Jalen, what do you think? Most blame in Kansas City.
Yeah, I feel, but I'm trying not to be too hard on Pat.
Of course. I'm not being an asshole.
I would more so give it to the OC in this regard.
So Andy Reid.
Yeah. So you see the pressure. You see them only sending 4, right? And you see that they're still getting ultimate pressure. You have to scheme up some kind of different kind of blocking scheme at that point at halftime. You got to maybe, we need you got to get an extra block in there, or maybe more rollouts. No more dropbacks. Dropbacks are done. If you're getting that much pressure, we're going to backyard football. As soon as we hike this ball, we're rolling out to the right or to the left. Why are we sitting in the pocket still? I think the play calling was asinine. Again, and it proved to my point, that's why we saw him get beat up when the strip sack. That's why he got popped like that, because we're getting all kinds of pressure. The Eagles want it. That's what the Eagles thrive. The Eagles thrive when quarterbacks sit in the pocket. They thrive. We love that. I hate playing scrambling quarterbacks. That's where we struggle. That's where most people struggle, because it's hard to dictate what they're about to do. But when you have Pat Mahomes just dropping back and getting sacked and dropping back, that's on the OC. You got to develop, because there was a couple plays where from the jump they were rolling out to the right immediately, and you heard the announcer, they're finally getting Mahomes to buy some time. Yes, and I don't know, they did that for 1 or 2 plays and then went right back to a drop back. It doesn't make sense.
Good point. Yeah, that's very true. This was in comment to when I said Kelsey you can blame Kelsey despite having regressed because he's a leader of the team. He was too quiet and did nothing to motivate his team. That's true. Plus lack of effort on the field doesn't help. That's true.
I think everybody was lack of effort. I do, though, feel like Mahomes was moving up a lot. Even on his dropbacks, he would move up, but the line was collapsing everywhere. And he would just run into people every time. He was screwed
And a lot of
either
times
way.
it would be a sack. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I feel like to all the Bears fans, forgive me, but I feel like we was watching the Bears play because that's what Caleb Williams was doing all season long. I mean, just that all in the pocket trying to find something. That's what Caleb Williams was doing all season long.
The real answer is Andy Reid, and y'all just want to put it on Mahomes.
Yeah, that's the real answer.
Shout out to you, Sean. Appreciate you.
They
Make
got
sure
that
you
agenda forever.
Like and follow, bro.
They're
Please.
trying to take away the Mahomes greatness.
They
Yeah,
are.
well,
They
I
hate it.
guess there's a little agenda there. Don't get me wrong. But y'all are right. From what y'all are saying, most like, yeah, I would. The play calling was a bit more than Mahomes. I'll retract my statement, but all I'm saying is when Brady was getting pressured like that and he didn't have the legs for it, I mean, he made it. I'm just, all right. He made it.
You sound like Alex now. In Chicago now.
I'm just saying because the OC switched up the play calling. I don't know.
right. All right, fellas. Well, let me ask one more thing of the Eagles. Give on a high note. You don't want to just end with the Chiefs because they didn't win anything.
Yeah.
Now, with the Eagles, Jalen, I'm interested in knowing what do you think is next for Philly? You give me how you do whatever you want to do here.
Yeah. No. So and I was talking to Cody and Joe about this. I love the question. I don't want to answer that for the next 2 months. Okay, let me just try out my Super Bowl victory and enjoy it. Let me just enjoy the moment. I know we gotta get a new OC and all of that. I don't know, Milton. Damn it, we just won 3 days ago. Okay, I don't know. I just want to, I just want to enjoy. Maybe ask me that next month. I don't know. But right now, what's next? I have no idea. I'm still having a Super Bowl hangover right now. So.
That's fair. All right. Well, let me ask these guys. Cody, what do you think is next for Philly? Obviously, we have an offseason coming up. We have free agency, a draft, et cetera, that can change everything that you're about to say. But what do you think is next for the Philadelphia Eagles?
All right, Jalen. I don't want to hype you up too much, but this is how I really think. Mm-hmm. I think as long as Philly keeps that O-line together, they'll be competing for Super Bowl. I think the O-line, like you're saying, is the reason, certain teams have a downfall, like the Chiefs or whatever, is the reason Philly's winning. And nobody's messing with that O-line, at least, and not unless Philly, self-sabotages or something that, But as far as I think y'all going to keep that intact for at least a few years, I think y'all be competing for multiple. So,
okay. Now, Joe, I saved this one for you because I think it'll be funny for you to answer. What do you think went right for Philly this whole season?
I just think, you get that guy 2-6 in the backfield, man. That's a big weighted off his shoulders for Jalen Hurts, man. You have a guy in the backfield that's like a human cheat code that's going to make any quarterback's life, 10 times or even 100 times better. But, that offensive line was relatively healthy throughout the whole season, so that's always helpful. Lane Johnson, future Hall of Famer, man, he was healthy for majority of the season, if I'm not mistaken, Jalen. If I'm correct or wrong, let me know about that. But Cam Jurgens, man, the way he came into this season after taking over for a Philly legend, possibly a Hall of Famer, and Jason Kelsey, to take over that responsibility, that was huge. That was what I was talking about in the offseason last year. If he's able to get off to a good start, that's going to be really big for this offensive line, because that offensive line for the past couple of years has been the nucleus of that offense as a whole, and it's helped out Jalen Hurts progress into fringe like top 7 like quarterback. We'll be talking about in a little bit, but that's helpful for any quarterback.
Gotcha. I hear you. Okay. Sean, go ahead.
Real quick, I forgot to mention this when we're talking about the Kansas City real quick, like the blame part. I just remembered this part real quick. I put some of the blame on the defensive coordinator too. Because my reasoning is because I think the 2 weeks when they knew they were going to play the Eagles, the focus and attention was just stopping Saquon, and that was it because that's all they looked prepared for. They did it. Good job. You stopped Saquon. You did it. But that looks like you forgot about AJ Brown. You forgot about Dallas Goedert. You forgot about Devontae Smith. Like you've got the mobility of Jalen Hurts as well. But you stopped Saquon. Bravo. But that's why when everyone says, "Oh, you stop Saquon, you could beat the Eagles," that theory has not been true all season long. True. The whole regular season and the playoffs. Because when I mentioned the only team to stop Saquon was the Steelers, they held him to 56 rushing yards. Jalen Hurts threw for almost 300 passing yards that game. Right. So that theory is not true. You don't stop Saquon, you don't beat the Eagles. We don't know how to beat the Eagles right now. So that just goes into my other part of I'm not putting so much on Pat. OC during the game, I think DC preparation-wise. Those are my biggest blame because every time Saquon got the ball, I was begging, just break one. Because they were doing a phenomenal job of stopping him. I was like, come on, Saquon, come on. But then as soon as Jalen Hurts dropped back, it's like he was, on the money with everything. Everything's like AJ Brown he caught two, like it was backyard football. Like all AJ Brown was doing was running straight. And fourth down, throw to AJ Brown. Like the preparation to stop Saquon was there. But for everything else, I don't think they took it into account. So I just wanted to mention that.
No, good point. And you did mention that off air too. So very, very good.
Yeah.
When it comes to AJ Brown, just real quick, I want to throw a shot real quick. Y'all know my agenda here. Especially the one that wasn't that was a bogus call, that one, and the other two deep balls for AJ Brown were on Trent McDuffie, not a real number one, guys. But whatever. All right, whatever.
But AJ Brown, bro. Anyways,
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown is AJ Brown. Like,
one side note, and I'll get to these comments real quick. I overheard you, Jalen. I don't know if it was on TikTok or your first episode on YouTube, but you said you asked the question, best wide receiver to win a Super Bowl, and it was just a genuine question.
Yeah,
but you mentioned that Mike Evans is better than AJ Brown. I totally disagree there. I don't.
Well, here it is when it comes to that. Now, when I'm talking all time, Mike Evans is a 1,000-yard receiver every single year. They're both big body receivers. They're both down the field receivers. Both receivers I love in the red zone as well. Sure. But if I have to give my hat off to somebody over the longevity of a career, it's got to go Mike Evans because he did it. He hasn't
went yet. He hasn't played long.
Right.
But even with that, Mike Evans was doing this with what's that boy name at quarterback?
Jameis.
Yeah, he was doing it with Jameis at quarterback.
Yeah, come on. Thank you, Joe.
But I'm just saying I've seen Mike Evans do this with multiple quarterbacks, and yes, it was the GOAT Tom Brady as well. But I'm just saying. Now, if I had to pick one today, I would pick AJ Brown. But I was talking about
their greatness.
Body of work.
Yeah.
I would say Mike Evans, and that's it. That's why I'm going there.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Cool. When I heard that, I was like, I'm ruffled up right now. But
okay,
I didn't get to catch it. Go ahead.
Was that the last of the Super Bowl talk?
Yeah. Let me go to the comments real quick, and then Cody, hold your point.
Okay, I got one more question.
I got you. They look very unprepared. That was when we were discussing Kansas City. Jose, shoot, if you want to hear an agenda, Mahomes won't be the GOAT until he wins 8. Damn. And Reed can't be the GOAT coach either if he loses a 4th Super Bowl. The last part, 100%. Waits for Eagles' success to continue. Don't lose Vic. I keep Vic.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to go take a head coaching job anymore. I think he's a little too old.
It's too late anyway. Yeah. Most of the time, after a running back has a career year, they regress or sadly get hurt the following year. Whoa. And Saquon, we don't trust for 2025. Whoa.
Damn. That's tough.
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley.
EAGEL.
Yo, what's up with your fans? Come on.
I think now they do it on purpose at this point. They can't be that. They can't be that stupid.
Illiteracy.
If they are, then that's fine. But I love it. They can't spell Eagles.
Hold on. Go ahead, Cody. You did have a question. I'm sorry.
Okay, I got a question. I want y'all two, Joe and Jalen, to answer this first because I know the other one's gonna be very biased on this answer. So, and I know Jose will be too. So, my question to y'all is gonna be, what's worse, to make it back to the third Super Bowl in a three-peat chance just to lose and get smoked, or to lose the perfect season like the Patriots did in 07?
Damn, that's tough.
What's a harder loss?
I think that's easy, but fair
Wait.
enough.
I think it's the Patriots because it was a close game throughout. You know.
Okay. What about you, Jalen?
Wait. So sorry, I just glitched for a second. I was waiting for it to come back.
Okay.
So you said to lose the perfect season in the Super Bowl, right?
Right. So what was a harder loss? The 07 Patriots loss or Mahomes on the three-peat making it to the Super Bowl and losing?
Oh, the perfect season, bro.
Yeah.
Why though? Why? But the perfect season though has been done before.
Just because it's not your answer, you won.
No,
Cody.
I was just wondering. I thought about those.
But you got to think about it too. You got to think about it too. Majority of everybody, like you asked back then during that game, who did we all think was going to win? We all thought the Patriots like wholeheartedly. But at least in this game, it was back and forth, 50-50. Like it was like a push. When push came to shove, who you're betting on in this game? It was literally a 1-point spread. You know.
Oh, Cody, since you're the odd man out, tell me why you would say the opposite, please.
Because I think a three-peat is harder. It's harder to win 3 titles,
Oh, yeah.
let alone 1 title, but to do it 3 times in a row, I feel that's way harder. And then you made it all the way to the fucking final one just to get your ass whooped, and you play like absolute trash.
Like
Quit.
I
get y'all lost on the buzzer beater, though. I get y'all lost on the buzzer beater.
Come on, and a helmet catch at that. Come
Right,
on,
right, yeah.
But I
I
don't
don't
even-
even against us. I'm telling you.
You got to think about it too. It was more games with the Pats when they lost in the Super Bowl compared to when Miami won theirs. I think it was like a 2 or 3 game
I
difference.
hate the more games damn argument. That shit gets so old.
But you got to think about it. If you're playing those games back then, it's going to be easier to go undefeated compared to it is now.
How many games was in the Dolphins won?
I think it was probably like 14.
I think 14 or 15.
Yeah, so what? Maybe like 1 less game.
It was like 2-3 games difference.
And the competition. Come on, we can't even talk. Let's not.
Okay, name 5 players on that Dolphins team besides Dan Marino.
Right.
Dan
that's what I
Marino
mean.
wasn't even there.
Or not Dan Marino or whatever. Yeah, but name right. So I mean, it's not like they had all the stars
Larry
like
Zonka.
the GOAT. Yeah.
Larry Zonka at freight train at running back.
What's the damn quarterback's name again? I forget his name.
Bob Greasy.
Greasy.
That's who it was?
Yeah.
I thought it was someone different.
He broke his ankle, and then the backup Earl Morale led them to whatever. All right. Either way, yeah, backfire on you, Cody.
No, I thought it was a good question though. Either way, I
was
already knew
brilliant.
your answer was.
It was a brilliant question. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but it's crazy to think this. I was talking to Milton about this. That Ray Finkel.
Is that a real name?
No, that's from Ace Ventura. It's
Ray
Okay, thank you.
Finkel.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Joe. Austin, thank you for being here.
Yeah, so I was talking to Milton about this. That the Eagles started out 2-2, and they ended up winning like 16 out of 17 of their last games. Like, what an incredible run! By all means, it's the Eagles. Like, I don't like to say that, but hey, for them to go on a run like that, kudos to them.
All right. One last thing on this. Now, winning again with Jalen Hurts, he's been now to 2 Super Bowls, and he won 1 and got Super Bowl MVP. Well deserved. I don't know who must have called it on this panel. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know, but who cares, right? Who cares?
Yeah, we can just move on now.
Right. What are we here for?
Yeah, I know. But with that being said, does this make with all the Jalen Hurts haters? Jalen, I talked to you about this again. A lot of people use the narrative that was against Jalen Hurts the first 2 years of his career, like other than his rookie year, right? Which is, again, it's stupid. It doesn't make sense because, like you said, this year, a bit of last year, other than the downfall, and especially 2022 year, you can't use that argument. It logically it's a fallacy. It falls on its face immediately. Once you just look at the stats, you look at the measurements, especially, again, the eye test, right? Now, does this, because this offseason, we had our top 10 quarterbacks, and a few of us did not have Jalen Hurts, okay? Does this emphatically putting an exclamation point on it, put Jalen Hurts in the top 10?
Top 10 easily. He's top 5. He's in the top 10 at this point. He's in the top 10 easily. Like there's no arguing top 10.
Yeah.
I'm to the point where he's top 5. And again, I'm not gonna get crazy. I'm not gonna say he's the best quarterback in football. No.
Yeah.
But I'm arguing top 5. Now, if he doesn't make it in there, okay, cool. But he's definitely top 10. Like if anyone is arguing him outside the top 10, I have to hear it. But
yeah,
I'm to the point where I'm trying to argue him in the top 5 based off of, everything that we always kind of talk about when it comes to a top 5. I think he finally has the accolades now to be in that discussion because a lot of quarterbacks we put in there ain't got the accolades. So
all right, we're gonna get on there now. Now that you brought that up, I was hoping you waited last. I should have told you. All right, 'cause I knew where you were going with it. Now, top 10 easily for certain. Joe and Cody.
I have him. I'm not gonna tell you where.
No,
but I have him in my top
10.
He's in my top 6.
Now, Cody, is he for certain top 10, a top 10 quarterback in this league?
Not for certain.
All right, now we're getting into it. I love it. Very, very good. Hold on. My preseason prediction was Hurts would be a top 5 QB this season. You sure did, Jose.
Man, Jose's just Nostradamus, I guess.
Well, I mean, do we all agree with that? Let's find out. Okay, now this portion of the show, we are going to have our top 10 quarterbacks overall debate. We're going to see, okay, Jalen Hurts is definitely in the top 10. Other than Cody, we'll see if he's in this top 10. And now, so there's two, I say negatives, not negative as in a negative sense, but in debate, there's assertive and assertive and negative. And you two are really on the negative. One guy says top 5, and one guy says maybe not top 10. So that's too far apart right there. Now, with that being said, with the top 10 quarterbacks, I have a certain criteria. If you guys don't agree with my criteria, cool. Let that be known in a opening statement of yourself. But I also have the opportunity to poke holes in your criteria if it doesn't make sense to me. And you also have the ability to poke holes in my criteria if it doesn't make sense to you. So, what was that? Who was that? I thought you slid the paper. He said, all right, forget this list, actually. Real quick. Now, I filled on the Stroud part. I have to admit that, yeah, he said CJ Stroud would be MVP. Now, if nobody got injured, who knows? I'm with you, Cody. You're welcome. All right. Okay. All right.
If the O-line played, maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. That's fair enough. Now, the criteria of the top 10 quarterbacks, what I wanted to put out there, just so we can have some level of consistency, because I don't want to start arguing and debating in circles where we just don't have the same definition of top 10 quarterbacks. So my criteria is going to be, the last 5 years. So since 2019, because we'll have recency bias, fair, but we have to put it all in account. But we're not going to go to like 2010 and all these other crazy things. So we're not going to do that. Since 2019, in my opinion, that should be fair. Total QBR throughout the years, you can equal it out. You can equate it out. It could average. I don't care. Arm strength, so that could be in yards. That could be yards per game. That could be overall specific games, etc. Accuracy, that's very simple. It doesn't have to be completion percentage because there's drops that's included in that, but you just got to, kind of make sure that's part of it. And second reaction ability, like playing off schedule, playing off platform.
Elaborate on that one. That was the only one that was iffy.
So that's more of, the top 3 are kind of easy that you can, if you have a hole in your argument, I will be able to point it out with those 3 because that is statistics. I can look it up easily on Pro Football, PFF. I can look it up on Google, right? Now, with the 4th one, the second reaction ability plays off schedule and plays off platform. That's more of the eye test. So it is more quote unquote subjective, but all of us watch ball. So if somebody just says something asinine, like, I mean, Derek Carr is one of the best guys to throw off platform, then I'll know you're full of it. Because no, it's definitely point the other way, Joe. I'm the other way. Point. No, all right. But yeah, that's how that goes. Now, before I start, everybody that's in the chat, Jose, you don't have to put it all right now, but I am interested in knowing your top 10. Or if you just want to wait till all of our top 10 is out there, then we can see where we agree or disagree. I laid out my criteria. Now I'll start with my top 10, and I'll start from 10 to 1. And again, go ahead, Cody.
I was gonna say, should we start at 1 since?
Yeah, right.
We all know
right.
who's at 1. You know what I mean? The
1
top
to 4.
Yeah,
1 to 4.
type shit.
Right. So after I go, then we'll do it in order on who's been on the show. Me, Joe, Cody, Jalen. What I want you guys to do, if you want, you don't have to. If you just agree with my criteria, cool. If you want to add something to it, you can. I'm not saying you can't, but if I think it's flawed, this is gonna be not a crazy debate, nothing like that, but I am going to be pushing if I disagree. All right, but I'll start her off 1 to 10. Again, this is since 2019, not an overall career, nothing like that. So since 2019, my top 10 quarterbacks that are in the league right now. At number 1, I have Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, Josh Allen. Number 3, Lamar Jackson. Number 4, Joe Burrow. Number 5, Justin Herbert. Number 6, Jalen Hurts. Number 7, Aaron Rodgers. Number 8, Matthew Stafford. Number 9, Jared Goff. And at number 10, Brock Purdy. And we'll have our clash. Okay, did you just do that for? Do you do that on purpose? All right, but we'll have our clash.
I need a run back of that. Give me that one more time. I'm sorry.
Okay. Just so that y'all know, at the end, after all of us are done, no pushback while we're saying our list, but at the end, we'll have our clash. We'll have cross-examination if y'all want. We'll do all of that then. So, Cody, where do you want me to start?
After you did Lamar, Burrow, then go.
Okay. So
Herbert,
it's just,
right?
Yeah. So 5 is Herbert, then Hurts, then Rodgers, then Stafford, then Goff, then Brock.
Okay.
All right, Jay.
So you have Herbie over Hurts and Stafford?
I sure do. Now, you push back, but let's wait. But Joe, it is your go again. This is part of like debate. You have an opening statement, and then you could say whatever you want. You normally have a time limit. You don't have a time limit, but just let everything out now, and then we'll talk afterwards.
Yeah. So at number 1, I have, of course, Pat Mahomes. Number 2, Josh Allen. Number 3, Lamar Jackson. Number 4, Joe Burrow. Number 5, Matt Stafford. Number 6, Jalen Hurts. Number 7, C.J. Stroud. Number 8, Justin Herbert. Number 9, Brock Purdy. And number 10, Dak Prescott.
Dak.
Stop it, Jalen. Don't do
it. Go ahead, Cody.
Laughing at no list yet, okay?
I just repeated what he said.
Yeah, I know. He did. Fair enough.
All right. Number 1, I got Mahomes. Number 2, I got Burrow. Number 3, I got Lamar. Number 4, I got Josh Allen. Number 5, I got Stafford. Number 6, I'm going to put somebody there that I don't think none of y'all put, but he deserves this spot. I got Baker. Number 7, I got Stroud. Number 8, I got Purdy. Number 9, I got Hurts. Number 10, I got Herbert.
Jalen, go ahead, brother.
All right, forgive me because
please,
y'all keep freezing on my screen. I know it's my Wi-Fi, but yeah, y'all keep freezing. I tried to exit out real quick and come back, but it still happened.
Come with a hate maker.
See, I don't know what just happened.
All right. Can you can hear me now? You can hear me.
I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So whenever, what do you? Because I have everything written down. So you tell me what you need.
No, I'm just letting you know. So if I glitch, I'll just let y'all
Okay.
know.
I got you. I got you. Fair
He's
enough.
gonna do a little glitch thing again.
Oh, but you
Yeah.
heard us.
Hey, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I heard y'all, but y'all, I can hear the audio, but the video of y'all keeps freezing on my end. I'm just letting y'all know.
Oh,
Okay.
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 Yeah, I don't know how to fix that. But yeah, let me go ahead and just try to get my top 10 real quick. So at number 1, I have Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, I have Jalen Hurts. Number 3, I have Lamar Jackson. Number 4, I have Josh Allen. Number 5, I have Joe Burrow. Number 6, I got Matthew Stafford. Number 7, I have Baker Mayfield. Number 8, I have CJ Stroud. Number 9, I have Jared Goff. And number 10, I have Aaron Rodgers.
Give me your 9 again.
2.
Number 9 is Jared Goff.
And number 6.
CJ Stroud. No, 6 is Matthew Stafford.
And just make sure I heard you correctly. You had Jalen Hurts at number 2.
Number 2.
Okay.
His old number, yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. Well,
I
we
think
have.
somehow I avoided the smoke.
Yeah, he definitely did right now.
Start your PC, Jalen.
You talking about that I'm glitching?
Yeah, yeah. So, do you think that's best, or it's up to you? Doesn't matter.
I'll try to I'm gonna just exit out and come right back.
Okay. All right. All right. So the first thing, again, go ahead.
I kind of switched on the fly too.
No, I'm just gonna say y'all have Aaron Rodgers in there, and
That's
y'all both
disgusting.
talking. Well, Jalen was talking about him retiring, and you don't even know where he's gonna play at next season, so you can't have him on this list until you know if he's playing for sure.
No, say that to Jalen. I didn't really hear you.
I'm like, what I was talking about. Well, Jalen was saying earlier that he needs to retire and stuff. Aaron Rodgers, and then you have him in the top 10. That was kind of confusing to me. You don't even know if he's playing next year or where he's gonna play at. So I just can't have him on the list yet.
Jalen, you could go ahead. I have pushback.
Well, I have him in the top 10 because we did it from the last
2019.
This is
2019.
2019. So I have to take that into consideration because I think didn't we just say that was like around his MVP time? Like,
He has 2 MVPs since 2019. He has 2 MVPs.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why he's in my top 10. If we're just talking last year, I'm not putting him in my top 10, but if we're talking 2019 and up, like I gotta take that into consideration.
All right. So let me say this. Well, one, Jose, glad for you to join, brother.
What's up?
Hey, when it comes to, do you have a top 10 list or you don't want to share right now?
Oh, I can share. It's just not going to follow the criteria of the 5 years.
That's kind of where I messed up then.
So what would be, you don't have to share, but what's your criteria, or were you going more of like this year?
No, it's we gotta understand. We're all gonna be like different mindseted people, right? Like how we feel about certain QBs. Like I would say this before I let Jalen and Terrence, toxify my brain with their actual good logic. Damn you, Jalen, for changing my mind on this. I can't rate rookies top 10 no more because of what he said. So, but before I would have done that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do too. I was gonna have JD5 somewhere in there.
Right.
Yeah, I would have had JD5 somewhere if I really wanted to. I would have done it, but I think it's Field because if we go by the 5-year logic, then you're right. You'd have to maybe argue Rodgers somewhere, but then you take away the credit for Baker Mayfield because look at his 3 years before the last 2. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't good. I mean, yeah, he took the Browns to the playoffs that first year, and then.
King was the commercials, and that's all we saw him in was commercials.
Yeah, it was the king of commercials, and then so I mean, look, it's just basically just go with what your gut is. That's really going to be my thing, and it is for it. I mean, these are my top 10 guys, and that's simply as that. I can't go 5 years because you're right. Then you have to include Rodgers' MVP years, not his, and then his terrible Green Bay, terrible Achilles, terrible Jets. It's like he can't be top 10 with the last 3 years. I mean, that's not a good quarterback.
Pfizer Rodgers is out of there.
So your criteria would be like momentum.
Momentum,
like,
yeah.
Okay.
It's guys who are rocking it right now, moving forward.
Right now, moving forward, and you're like projecting on they'll continue the success, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm. That's why I wish you would have replied because then then we all could have kind of came to an agreement, because I just went last 5 years because it's something that we can all look back on. Okay, who is the best quarterbacks of right now since the last 5 years? But I'm not against your criteria, but definitely my list isn't fitting in your criteria.
Mine's is more kind of like I did mine's like say I was picking up a team, like this is the order, like I would pick each quarterback before the next kind of
like
thing.
an NFL quarterback draft
Types, yeah, like this is where I'd rank them overall right now, you know what I mean, if I take into account how they've been the past few years kind of thing.
Yeah. No, for
All right.
sure. That's how I kind of went by mine. Like moving forward, who's going to be in the upper echelon of quarterbacks? That's what I was looking at. You know.
But
Sorry
I mean,
if we fucked it up, Milton.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So now we'll have a different discussion. That's good, because I had a lot of fire back for a lot of you because of the people that you named. Go ahead.
So I was having the same glitches right now that Jalen was having, so that's why I couldn't respond to what you were just saying. I heard everything, but it was like glitchy too. But I don't think it's a shame. I think it's just us. But I was gonna say is the reason I couldn't reply to you is because I don't know how it is for Joe. But this week we've had a bunch of call-ins, so I'm making up for a lot of people's shit this week.
Right on.
Yeah,
right
I've been getting out about 7 every day.
Jeez,
bro.
Okay,
I got home at 7:30. And what time did the podcast start yesterday?
Yeah.
Dang,
so.
man. No preparation. You're good. You're on the fly. You're good at improv, brother. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me still, Jalen, let me ask you, and then I'll start kind of doing my rebuttal process. What criteria did you use? Because I don't think you used mine.
No, I tried to use yours as much as I could.
Tell me yours. Tell me. You don't have to use mine.
So my biggest thing whenever making a top 5, top 10, I always go. I like to reward winning. Winning is my favorite thing to reward. So I always try to look at that first. Then I go into rarity, meaning like MVPs, Super Bowl MVPs, accolades that maybe not everybody else has as well. Because, if an MVP or a Super Bowl MVP was that easy to obtain, everyone would have one. They don't. So I feel like everybody that does have one go into a category of their own. Then we kind of get into the analytics and the stats of it. QBR rating, passing yards. Being an Eagles fan, I know passing yards don't always tell the whole story. So it doesn't weigh as much on me as it might for other people, because I know sometimes passing yards don't tell the whole story when you got a running back running for 2K. So that, and then just career wise, I was trying to put that into play too. So that's kind of how I did my list.
Okay, so real quick, when you say, so your first and foremost, you award winning. When you say winning, are you saying strictly regular season and playoffs with a Super Bowl, or where are you emphasizing your winning at?
Pretty much everywhere. So winning in the regular season, winning in the playoffs, and winning in the Super Bowl. I like to reward when you win, because at the end of the day, that's what this whole game is about. It's about winning. But I also, like I said, like for example, Matthew Stafford, number 6 on my list. I know he has a Super Bowl underneath his name. But again, in today's football, I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback. So that's why I have him 6. But I also know he's responsible for 2 Triple Crowns as well. So, but it's kind of hard because, Lamar Jackson is a 2-time MVP, and he's currently good, and he's in his prime, and I would take him over Matthew Stafford right now. So that's why all of this is kind of like in a big old melting pot mix.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to try to remember all of y'all's criteria and your logic, and really at least ask some clarifying questions. So I'll start with you, Jalen, because your list, your number 2 is really throwing me off right now. So,
yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about it. So you're putting Jalen Hurts above Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow off strictly Super Bowl wins?
Off the fact that he's been to the Super Bowl twice, both Super Bowls he's been to, he's outplayed what is this generation of GOAT quarterbacks. He's outplayed him twice. He's 1-1 against him. And then also, like again, his playoff winning percentage, he's like 7-3 in the playoffs. So where I'm looking at Josh Allen and Lamar is Jalen Hurts has done something they can't do. They can't beat Patrick Mahomes. Jalen Hurts has done it. So you reach another tier that these other two quarterbacks can't do. Like, and the thing I keep saying, to me, all you got to do is beat one team in the AFC, because that's the only team that's coming out. In the NFC, you don't. There's a multitude of teams you have to beat, because anybody can come out that conference any year. The AFC is just the Chiefs, but Josh Allen and Lamar cannot beat this man. Where Jalen Hurts has now lost to him and beat him. And
Right.
to Jose's point, when it comes to the GOAT debate, Tom Brady was the only one that took him down in the Super Bowl. So why are we not looking at Jalen Hurts now? Okay, he's on a very rare level that he took down Pat in the Super Bowl. So
Well, I think that falls a little bit short. And whenever I start doing this, Jalen, you know my heart, brother. I'm not pressing. I'm just right now. This is debate mode, so I'm gonna get in my debate mode. Now, when you say, "Oh, because it's against Pat Mahomes," one, it's a team sport. We all agree it's a team sport. It's not quarterback versus quarterback. I understand you pointing out that he outperformed Pat Mahomes in both Super Bowls.
right.
Fair enough. I'm not disagreeing on that. But I mean, if we use that same logic, then Eli Manning, he deserves a lot of credit because of what he also won 2 Super Bowl MVPs against Tom Brady.
You can say it. I know you're about to say outplayed him. Huh?
So you said it. So
Right.
do you think he deserves any more credit because of that feat? And because also when it comes to Eli Manning and his 2 Super Bowl runs, he went 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. In 12 games, he went 8-4. But in his, I would say 2006 to 2011, would you consider Eli Manning a top 5 quarterback?
So and that's the last thing I was about to say. What is Eli Manning's, if we're going to do that comparison, what is his regular season percentage winning? Because I'm adding that in there too.
He's 500.
Okay, well, Jalen Hurts is in the 70th percentile. So again, to that argument, I would say Eli Manning and Jalen Hurts. Like, if I see where you're trying to go there, but I'm talking regular season as well. Jalen Hurts, since he's been in the league, is in the 70th percentile of winning regular season games. He's been to the playoffs every single year. I don't think we can try to compare that. That's kind of what I'm getting to.
Okay, so in that same aspect, because good job, you knocked that one out. That's good. The next one is, well, let's talk about Russell Wilson.
Right.
Year 2012 to 2014, he also went 1-1. Top 5 quarterback? No. Right?
Okay.
And his winning percentage
At the time,
not afterwards.
At the time,
Don't say it's not.
After 2014 season, even though they lost that one, I don't know. He has an argument.
So when you say after, I'm not saying that. I'm saying during, because we're talking about Jalen Hurts now. So I'm saying during Russell Wilson's time.
But you said after 2 Super Bowl appearances, because Jalen's saying top 2, but some of us are saying top 5. But I'm saying after 2 Super Bowl appearances for Russ, Russ has a top 5 argument at the time.
But the thing with Russell Wilson, though, he didn't really become like let Russ cook till after they went to that second one. Then he started showing himself. Those first 2 ones were the Legion of Boom. That's what a lot of people tend to forget.
So let me clarify. So Jalen Hurts right now, we're talking about his playoff success and his Super Bowl success from year 2022 to now. So I'm talking about Russell Wilson, his same 2 nice little 4-year playoff success, 2012 to 2014. He also went 1-1. He was not a top 5 quarterback. There was Peyton Manning, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, Tony Romo, Aaron Rodgers, Big Ben, all beat him in every statistical category. Right. But Russell Wilson, like Jalen Hurts, in his winning, other than the 2022, that's a different argument. This year had a lead league defense, a top 2, top 3 running game, and we're not in the top 15 in passing. You know what I mean? Right. So,
but wasn't Russell Wilson the most accurate quarterback in the league at that time?
Not yet. He was accurate. His pass rating was fine. Go ahead.
Okay, so
it's afterwards, after he went through the Super Bowl thing, then he started cooking for sure. Agreed. I'm not debating that. I'm saying
because I was gonna say like right now, if we're talking about stuff like now in recent history on the 3 or 4 year range, they got similar numbers. I mean, I get
Very
it. Legion of
similar.
Boom, obviously,
very
and Beast
close.
Mode is a different nightmare too. But
I'm
I don't know. I have to really think about it again about 2014 and stuff. I'm like, I think
No,
he's
no,
right there.
No.
I'm
So they have. That's not my argument. My argument is Russell Wilson was not a top 5 quarterback just because he won. They both have similar numbers. I agree. I've done that. I see that. But I'm saying Russell Wilson at that time, winning as much as he was winning, percentage wise, he was a winner, considered a winner from rookie year. But he was not a top 5 quarterback. That winning, going to the Super Bowl is a team effort.
Right.
It is not a that means Jalen Hurts is number 2 in the league because he went to 2 Super Bowls, won one, and got a Super Bowl MVP. That doesn't equate being a better quarterback than a 2-time MVP, a 1-time MVP, a Joe Burrow that didn't have the,
It was also beat Mahomes. The
Joe
only
Burrow
other
also
one.
beat Mahomes, correct. That's been a while, but since 2019 is the argument. That's where I'm pushing back. Like Jalen Hurts at number 5 or number 6, I think is fair. Now I have a whole I thought I was going to debate you, Justin Herbert, but you went fledged out number 2.
You're like, I'm all in.
You switched it up on me. That's fair. I respect it.
I can tell you why Justin Herbert's not even a top 10 guy.
Mhm.
Top 10. Okay. Well, let me. Jalen, please. If you got something else for me, please.
Well, for Jalen Hurts' argument,
Yeah, just if you can refute like what I said or whatever or however you want to go about it. Please.
again, I get what you're saying with the Russell Wilson tag and about the similar numbers. I think we're just in a different era of football to try to compare that to as well. It's like the same right now. What we're doing is trying to like kind of compare just 2 different eras. And I don't have much refute or kickback on that because similar numbers in 2012 and then similar numbers now in 2025, it's just going to play out different. And what quarterbacks are right now, we have more scrambling quarterbacks, I would say, at the realm than more pass-heavy quarterbacks when you talk about it then, because it was a very pass-heavy league then, and it's not as much anymore. So I think trying to just compare that is kind of, I don't know how to refute that, I'll be honest, but I just still think in today's football, when it comes down, okay, you want a quarterback with a good touchdown to turnover ratio. Jalen Hurts has that. You want a quarterback that is clutch in big moments. Jalen Hurts has shown that many times. You want a quarterback that's a leader. Obviously, we all know about Jalen Hurts' leadership. You want a quarterback that can be a game manager and a difference maker at the same time. Jalen Hurts knows when to use his legs. He knows when to sit in the pocket. He knows how to put balls on a target. He can throw the football. Now, he's not the best thrower in football, but he can put the ball in the money. We all just witnessed that once again in the Super Bowl with this whole Jalen Hurts can't throw logic. It's out the window at this point. Okay. So I don't see the only flaw. I mean, Jalen Hurts has flaws. Let me not talk about him like he's perfect. He has flaws, but where he has flaws, now he has accomplishments to go with it. That's what I'm saying. Like, we have to treat these quarterbacks. A Super Bowl is not easy to obtain. A Super Bowl MVP puts you in a rare form fashion. I can't sit here anymore and glaze Lamar, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow, and my quarterback has a Super Bowl MVP. I get the numbers, I get all of that, but the nitty gritty of it all, when my quarterback is on the biggest stage, he has not ran from it yet. Again, you brought up Joe Burrow beating Pat Mahomes. Then what did Joe Burrow do? Did he win? No. And like I said, I like to reward winning. My quarterback won. I'm going to reward him for that. Because if Jalen Hurts would have went 0-2, I'm pretty sure we will all be here talking about how he's not a top 10 quarterback because he can't perform or win a Super Bowl. That would have been the logic there. So we can't keep flipping that and going back and forth with that. So when he wins, let's reward him. And if he doesn't win, we would just yank that away because I know Cody would have did it. I know for a fact that
but you're saying reward. You're saying reward, and I am rewarding because again, I had Jalen Hurts more on the outskirt of the top 10, and I say he's definitely. I agree with every single point that you just made, but in the same breath, the other quarterbacks that you have Jalen Hurts over are the same exact guy that you just said. They just haven't made a Super Bowl. But again, my main point in refutation is just because you win the Super Bowl doesn't make you a top 5 quarterback.
To me, in this conversation in today's football, it does because of the rarity. How many quarterbacks today in the NFL have a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP?
Nick Foles. No.
Again, he's not in the NFL today.
Pat, I think it's just Pat, and I don't even think Matt Stafford won the MVP. And
No, he didn't. He did.
Cooper Kupp.
I'm trying to think.
Cooper
Two.
Kupp
So
did.
I think possibly just Pat.
Oh,
and
Aaron
now-
Rodgers. If you count Rodgers, 3.
Or
Yeah,
Rodgers.
so 3.
Oh, you see how rare that is? Like again, we're treating it like it's rare to have that. So I'm not saying just because he won, he also has a Super Bowl MVP, which in the league, that's one. You're in the 1 percentile. So that's to me that's a rarity. We gotta like look at.
But what about MVPs? MVP's a rare thing. It's a full season. It's not one game. It's
But
a full,
MVP is also known as a quarterback award. So somewhere in there a quarterback is going to get it. MVP,
right, but that's what we're talking. We're talking about
Super
best
Bowl-
quarterbacks.
But the Super Bowl MVP isn't a quarterback award. Like it's not known as a quarterback award. The
He's
Super Bowl
saying
MVP
it's harder
is
to obtain. Or get
Okay.
the vote for it.
It's rarer.
Yeah, it's
Right,
rare
right,
to
right.
obtain.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. We just said Cooper Kupp and Julian Edelman has one. Like
Right.
receivers have the. We name two
Vaughn.
receivers. Name 2 receivers that have an MVP.
I don't think they've ever had a receiver.
Man,
Okay,
I don't think they have.
I'm proving my point here of how
I
rare.
guess
Probably
the
just
Super Bowl MVP
probably
is.
Jerry was probably the
No.
last one.
He
No,
never
no,
won
I don't think
MVP.
he won it. I think Joe Montana got it. No, but I understand it. But I'm saying
Oh, yeah.
because he got the rarity factor doesn't make you a better quarterback.
I think
like-
it does.
But okay, so because you get Super Bowl MVP,
Yeah, well, because that means you performed on the highest stage in the biggest moment. You performed the best. Like
I'm
You got-
gonna leave it alone after this. But that makes me go back to Eli Manning. Eli Manning is not a top 5 quarterback in his time. He was not a top 5 quarterback, but yet he had 2 Super Bowl MVPs. But yet he is not that.
Well
that's not-
deserved.
But again, that's not the Super Bowl MVP. Isn't my only point. It's also Jalen Hurts' regular season record. It's his playoff record. It's his touchdown to turnover ratio. To me, when it's all bundled up and you stir the pot all together and you get your soup already made, then now I think Jalen Hurts, when you put all of it together, right, it's a top. It smells like top 2 in my eyes. That's what.
But with that touchdown to turnover ratio, gotta remember he doesn't throw the ball as much, so he doesn't gunsling as much as some of these other guys. So you
Eli
have to put
Manning
that in context.
Eli Manning in those those runs has a better touchdown interception ratio than Jalen Hurts.
Wait, so can we not give credit to? Didn't Jalen Hurts finish second in MVP voting in 2022?
2022, he sure did.
No, yeah, like that year he balled. Like,
But
I'm
but
not
my-
saying he's not a good quarterback by any means.
that's where I'm trying to understand. I'm not saying he doesn't
I give
deserve.
him.
I'm not being negative. I'm saying over a 2-time MVP is kind of crazy. That's pretty wild. As a quarterback, that's a wild state. I'm not even going to talk about Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. I'll leave them.
I mean, no, but I do understand what Jalen means because
No.
if we and Milton, hold on, Milton, hear me out. We understand it, and maybe we're spoiled by it. We have a guy. Our favorite quarterback won 7 damn trophies. He won 3 MVPs, and he made it look so easy. But Jalen's right. There's guys that I said it last week. There was guys that struggled to get a second ring with Tom Brady around. There's guys who can't even get 1 ring with Patrick Mahomes around.
Mhm.
So it's like, I get Jalen's point as like, dude, in the last 3 years, if we're talking about as far as like if we're using like let's say even your criteria, right, with the last 5 years, in the last 3 years, he's been there twice. He's outplayed the best quarterback in the league. Everyone's unanimous number 1. If I'm mistaken, if I heard everyone correctly, everyone's unanimous number 1, and he outplayed him twice. I mean, you have more chances probably to win the regular season MVP award than you do a Super Bowl MVP. So that's where I'm understanding what he means by that. It's a lot.
I understand it, but it doesn't make you a top 2 quarterback.
Oh,
That's
no, I
all
don't
I'm
agree.
it doesn't negate the fact of, again, Russell Wilson did the same exact thing that Jalen Hurts did, and he was not considered they have virtually the same
Top
stats.
2.
They rank virtually the same yards per game, 18th, 20th, touchdowns. Jalen Hurts 2022 season, 5th, 6th, good. But everything else seems this exact same. So I don't understand why. I get Jalen's point. I hear it, and I don't disagree with any of it. But I'm not debating if he shouldn't be in top 10. He definitely should, but and a higher than 10. But over number 2, just because the Super Bowl wins, it doesn't equate for me.
Can y'all hear me?
I think it's
Yeah.
funny
Yeah, I
because he uses the same Patriot logic y'all would use back in the day against Peyton Manning when Peyton Manning, was outperforming regular season over Tom Brady. Well, Tom Brady's winning. He's winning the Super Bowl every year, so he's got to be better.
No. But you see, you're misdoing it because Peyton Manning in the playoffs played absolutely terrible. He was a lot of times the reason they lost.
That's fair.
That's a totally different conversation.
Yeah,
Josh Allen in the playoffs is not the reason they're losing. Lamar, yeah, he doesn't have played the greatest, but in the last 2 years, it wasn't his fault they lost. You know what I mean?
But I also,
different. Go ahead.
I also think I don't think the argument helps when you're comparing eras of. Can y'all see me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
see.
Okay. When you're comparing,
you
that
see us
big
with
old-
those shades.
We can see that big old head.
I just don't know because I'm trying to switch to my phone.
I can't see anything. Can y'all see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay.
All right.
You're
so-
freezing too? Why is everybody freezing but me?
I'm
I'm
not
fine.
freezing. Am I freezing?
No.
Okay. Am I good?
Yeah,
I think we're
you're
good.
bro.
Okay. The Buddha producer says everyone's good. I can't tell Milton's hair because of his background. I can't.
Yeah.
You know, I can't see Jalen's eyes.
I can't
You
see
know.
Jalen at all. What's going on here?
I can see him.
You
I
can?
can see him.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
here.
Oh, y'all are freaking me out right now. He's right here. I don't see him. I don't see him.
The only thing that we're getting a little extra is I think Jalen doesn't have headphones on, so I could hear some background noise.
It's his TV, yeah.
No, it's us. It's us.
Oh.
I cannot see Jalen. What the heck's going on?
Okay, now you're gonna have to restart your computer too, Milton. Don't worry, we'll still be live.
All
We're
right.
here.
All right. Be back.
But I don't even think he's restarting the computer. I think he just took off the thing.
Yeah, no, I understand where Jalen is coming from, putting him that high. You know, you get to 2 Super Bowls. You know, he probably could have won 2 already by this chance if it wasn't for that call. That was a call, not a call. But what Jalen was talking about, like the AFC is a tough thing, and what I'm gonna say is that it's a death by 1,000 cuts in the AFC, where they kind of prime up Pat in the Chiefs, if you think about it, because those 2 times that the Eagles played them, the 2 times that the Eagles have played them, they didn't look on their tip-top best ever. So if you think about it like that, where the Eagles have them at a prime situation where they are due to like wreak havoc on them.
Mhm.
But Jalen Hurts, man, give him all the glory. The way his narrative was in Alabama. He was there, got benched for Tua. In the championship game. Then goes to Oklahoma, man, balls out there. Ever since he's been in the league, man, he's had a different OC every single year. So kudos to him to go get a team like the Eagles. It's not easy to be the quarterback.
He's about to get his 5th one in 6 years.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think, to be in that market, it's crazy. It's not easy by any means because you know how those fans are. They're ruthless. They boo everybody. And, big ups to him because not a lot of guys can handle that media, that like heat on him, and he's handling it.
Cody, what did you have, Jalen Hurts?
I have him like 9, but it's kind of fluid. My last few, I can see Jalen Hurts move up a little bit, but whenever Milton comes at me, I'll explain my part.
All right.
He's here.
Well,
He's alive. Oh, none of us can see Jalen if it makes you feel better.
I can see Jalen now.
Yeah, there you go. Now.
Yes. But did I miss anything? Yeah, I can see.
Here.
Nah, we were just filling in. We're Joe's giving his thoughts.
Yeah, no, I was just like, I understand where Jalen was coming from, and I was just saying, like, it's not easy to be the quarterback in the Philadelphia market by any means, man, because it's a tough market, tough fans. They expect a lot of that team. That team is like their backbone. It's the DNA, the blood of Philadelphia.
Okay. And my only other thing, and I'll go to you, Cody. I'll ask you a couple questions, bro.
Let me hear it.
Baker Mayfield, number 6, please.
Yes, sir.
Explain. But your criteria is going to where Jose was saying.
Yeah, a little bit, and kind of like just who's been kind of on a roll, that momentum thing. And I like where Baker's been going, and he's on the way up. And I mean, a lot of people ain't giving Baker credit, but Baker's he been showing out.
Oh, 100%. Okay. Well, our criteria is different, so that's tough for me to poke at you.
I mean, what were you gonna poke at?
Well, Baker since 2019, yet you don't have.
Okay,
Aaron
yes,
Rodgers
it's a
is
2019
absolutely.
thing.
Yeah.
I understand.
But that's
Okay.
why I say like I can't really. You didn't. So
But you know what, Milton, to throw that back at you. What
Go
about
ahead.
Cleveland since 2019? What's Cleveland doing ever since they let go Baker?
that's good. That's
Horrible.
good. Shame on them. Shame on
Horrible.
them. Well, they made the playoffs. So
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah, with
just
20
saying,
different quarterbacks.
That's
The
even
stability.
greater. Just
Joe
saying.
Flacco, baby.
Hey, what does God say about relationships? Does he want stability or instability?
That's funny.
The
Okay.
most rigged head coach
All the
voting.
above.
And also, I don't know, Jose, if you said it or Jalen, you said it, but reason why we all have Pat number one is since 2019. Again, I know y'all didn't use my criteria, but he leads in wins, he leads in yards, he leads in touchdown, like he leads in everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's number one. he's undoubtedly.
I think in your criteria with the last 5 years, I think 3 Super Bowls does that for some people. You know what I mean? Or 2 Super Bowls, whatever.
That too. But let me see.
I can give you my list whenever you want to be controversial. Ask me questions. I know you want to go at Joe. Go at Joe. Go next.
All right.
Yeah, you ain't gave your list though, huh?
No, I haven't.
He hasn't. Let me go at Joe first. Okay. So R4 is the exact same. You have Justin Herbert, fine. Dak Prescott. Okay, so Jalen Hurts being 6, that's fine. Okay, here we go. Let me go back to Cody real quick. Why Jalen Hurts number 9? I don't think that's accurate.
So it's a little fluid, like I would say like 8 through 11, 12. You know what I mean? Ultimately, we're grading quarterbacks, right? Mm-hmm. Quarterback, the number one thing a quarterback can do is pass the football. If you see, I actually prefer, if you look at my list, a passer over, the typical runner that we're getting more now, like a Lamar or Josh Allen. I would prefer a Burrow that's better pocket passing and more, overall that way. So I kind of lean towards that to begin with. So when I look at Jalen Hurts' stats, right, the year Jalen Hurts passed the football the most and got the most yards and did his most passing was also the year he turned the ball over the most, and his team, kind of crumbled at the end. So I still kind of look at that a little bit. Not saying that Hurts, can't throw the ball when some games, have to happen, but overall, when I'm just picking a quarterback with all the pieces around it, such as a great running back, O-line, wide receivers, defense, like the Eagles have, I know some of these other quarterbacks that are better at the passing would even thrive even more, in my opinion. So that's kind of where I kind of lean towards it. You know what I mean? If I'm picking each one of these quarterbacks and putting them in the dream scenario, overall, which one I think is better, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Jalen, I saw you shake your head. Come on.
Yeah, I'm pulling some. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I just think since you're far from the phone, the audio kind of.
Okay, because I have these headphones on. I can
hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm pulling something up real quick, just
please,
for Cody's point, really quick.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Very good.
I got it right here. Don't worry. So you
All
said when. Okay, so you said when Jalen Hurts threw for the most yard, he had the most interceptions, right?
Right.
Where do you have Josh Allen on your list again?
I have Josh Allen at number 4.
Okay, because Josh Allen threw for the least amount of yards since 2020. He threw for 4,000 yards each year, except this year. He threw for 3,700 yards, and this was his least turnover year. So
right.
The same reason you took away Jalen Hurts, you didn't take away for Josh Allen, and that's why I'm trying to get to a point. Everybody's discrediting Jalen Hurts. You don't discredit these other quarterbacks for. Obviously, okay. And I get the more you put the ball in the air, the better chance of turnover.
Yeah.
But also at the same point, that's the same reason for Josh Allen. They said, "Hey, you're a turnover machine. We got to get the ball out of your hands less," and that's exactly what they did this year. Had his best touchdown to turnover ratio this year. So I don't know.
You have anything?
Yeah,
for that,
I have
please?
a rebuttal. All right. So when you have two players that both, throw risky passes and can be high in turnovers, then you have to start looking at the other things. So I start comparing, their arm. We can't even compare their arm, right? That's not comparable. I start comparing their quarterback vision, their IQ on the field, that I feel is not comparable still. I feel Josh Allen is leaps and bounds above Jalen Hurts in some of those categories. And even athleticism, much as we're going to praise Jalen Hurts for his running, I would think we would agree that Josh Allen is superior on that. So Josh Allen in almost every category you would look at an individual talent at quarterback, he's superior in my opinion to Jalen Hurts. So I don't feel that was the best reach to compare with Josh Allen. Now maybe you pull out, Baker or something. I could see where you're going, because I know Baker's going to have some high turnover season 2, right?
Go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead, Jalen. You got it.
Again, no, I'm just saying my point. My point was, first of all, you were discrediting Jalen Hurts for when he threw the ball the most, for having the most turnovers. That's the same thing for Josh Allen. Both of them had their best season this past season when they had less passing yards. They both had less passing yards. They both had a better touchdown to interception ratio. Now, when you talk about athletic, superior, whatever wise, I also don't agree with that 100%, because when you look at
debatable.
Like, I don't see how they're both the same kind of runner. They're both power runners. One's not way more elusive. The best runner quarterback in football is Lamar Jackson. He's fast. He's elusive. He's the best scrambling quarterback in the league. That's when you said there's no comparison. Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts, they're both power runners. So they're like the same athlete. Arm, I will give you the arm talent. Josh Allen, arm talent, let's not even talk about that. Josh Allen got it. But the QBR, the reading the defense, all that, I don't think Josh Allen just has that by
he 100%.
I don't think he just has that by a
Well, please defend me a little bit.
Yeah, no. So rushing wise and athleticism is definitely a debate.
I get it's more debatable, right? Yeah.
Like Jalen said, they're virtually the same style of running quarterback. Now, when it comes to QBR, yeah, I don't.
Do we like comparing their QBRs or passer rating more?
QBR is more accurate. Passer rating can be skewed just by touchdowns, interceptions, yards, where QBR is, this ball was dropped. That was actually a bad pass. All of that's more incorporated in QBR. That's why I put that. Passer rating's just by stats. You have good stats, good passer rating.
Yeah, because Patrick had a 95 passer rating, even though he had 11 QBR. That was funny.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of QBR. Don't get me wrong. Some games it's kind of weird, but if you watch the game, you understand where the QBR came from. It's like, okay. This guy had all these great passes. Like, for instance, and not to go on a tangent, CJ Stroud. Sorry, Cody. When I said I don't think he did this great on rookie season, but his QBR wasn't good because a lot of the balls that he should have been intercepted weren't. They take that account in QBR. That's what I mean. So I say QB. That's why I put QBR in the criteria.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll leave Jalen Hurts alone because I don't want to seem like I'm bashing him. I think Jalen Hurts is what I have him number 6. I think that's very respectable. So I'm not gonna keep on getting on Jalen.
Where would he have been if he had lost?
Nobody's top 10.
My range, my same range, like 8 through 12.
It would probably be number 8. I would probably just switch Rodgers and him. Because I think I like Jalen Hurts. Unless, don't get me wrong. Okay, never mind. It's context dependent. If the reason they lost because Jalen Hurts played it good, then yeah, he would probably be like 8, 9.
I can't see that. You got to put it down.
Boston Red Sox. That's all I got.
You got to move it
lower.
Oh, you took the
full screen. You're full screen.
What are you showing us?
Yeah, what are you doing?
So breaking news: baseball heads. Alex Bregman, Red Sox, 3 years, $120 million.
Yeah.
And when is this baseball pod? When is this baseball pod gonna start?
So it's gonna start up really soon, probably in the next couple of weeks, right? But because spring's training starting up now.
Okay.
Yes,
Wait, hold on. I just realized. Wait, Cody, who you have Jalen Hurts 9, right?
Yeah, I have him at 9 today.
Yep, here it is.
You know what I mean?
Today.
Go ahead,
That's him winning. And that's
Let
a
him
winning.
have it.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah,
bro.
that's why I
Do you
said
have, do you hold on, let me ask you, do you have CJ Stroud over Jalen Hurts?
he sure does.
Absolutely.
Kill him.
All right,
Kill him.
I think I'm done. I think I'm done.
I
for
do
today,
not
y'all.
care. I do not care.
I think I'm done for today.
I
No,
don't care.
Jalen, no, I don't agree with him. I agree with you on that.
I don't-
I
Cody
already
everybody
told
agrees
y'all.
with Cody.
You put CJ Stroud on the Eagles O line, and CJ Stroud a
That's
top
not-
5 QB.
But that's not what we're
the-
talking about, though.
that's
We're
not
playing-
the-
we're
Well,
not
I'm
playing
saying
what
who's
ifs.
a better overall QB in my opinion. So I'm
But where
I'm
do
not
you get
factoring
that?
what.
I'm like Baker, Stroud, and Purdy over Jalen Hurts. I
kinda
really,
crazy.
it's kind
Kinda
of hard.
crazy. But see, again, that's why I maybe maybe another debate we can rely on some kind of criteria, because Cody's is who he would pick on his team. That's high. No offense, Cody. That's highly subjective. So
Right, it all
arguing
is though.
it can that's not why. That's why I put the criteria a certain way, because when you put not even my criteria, if you went with Jose's, once we have a criteria set, that's where we're basing our top 10. So if you say somebody outrageous, then I can say that absolutely makes no sense on A, B, C, or D. That's where criteria again. It's all good. We're having a conversation. That's all I doubt.
Cody, and I don't know if you're like this. Alex uses the what if method a lot too, and I hate the what if method. What if this guy was with this different coach, or this guy was with this different team? It's like we'll never know, not unless it actually happens. It's like what if CJ Stroud actually was like
what if he went
like
to Carolina?
like a Carson Wentz with the Philadelphia Eagles? What if he plays bad? What if he breaks both his ankles over there?
Or what if he got drafted to Carolina?
It's almost like, what if CJ Stroud ever had a better passing season than Jalen Hurts ever had? Oh wait, he did. That's right. So you know what I mean? Right. It's not a what if, because it happened. CJ Stroud has had a better passing season than Jalen Hurts has ever had. And that was his rookie season.
And Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
I can't debate that. You know what I mean?
Let me
Jalen Hurts on a great team.
So when you say you're saying strictly passing, but as a quarterback, I'm saying overall season. So with rushing, with again QBR, and with all that intact, I think Jalen Hurts has had a better year than CJ Stroud. But we're not going to freaking talk about CJ Stroud against Jalen Hurts. All right, we're not going to do that. The only
I mean, Cody, you wouldn't give a knock to CJ or any of the guys in the division because it's a bad division.
What do you mean a knock? Because I remember I remember at the beginning of the season, even Jalen himself was saying, if Jalen Hurts, he fucking sucks. Remember, y'all lost the game to Kirk Cousins. Oh, Jalen Hurts fucking sucks. We're gonna need to move on, get a new QB, all this and that. So we just put him to the top 10. At the beginning of the season, Jalen Hurts, sure wasn't in the top 10, at least not in my list. So I mean, we've already moved him up a lot. I mean, going into top 5 is a lot. You're talking about.
If we're going back for what we remember, what Jalen was saying when he was ready to fire Nick Sirianni and trade Jalen Hurts, so this year didn't go as well as it did, right? Because he said, like, if it's a first round exit, fire Sirianni and trade Jalen Hurts.
Right.
We do also have to understand that he is also coming off an emotional state where the team went 1-6 for the last 7 weeks of the season.
Correct.
So
with Jalen Hurts.
Yes, the Nick Sirianni and this whole team.
Overall.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Jalen Hurts.
I'm
just saying. Where can I be a fan? Where can I be a fan of my team? Because I mean, I wasn't the only one saying fire Nick Sirianni, and it might be time to move on from Jalen. I'm also a fan of the team too.
Yeah.
If your quarterback wasn't doing well, and the season before, they fucking went 11-0, and then they tanked the rest of the season, lost the first round, bounced back the next season with an upgraded team, and start off so weak. You'd be like, okay, hold on, something has to change. I'm not one of these people that want to wait 3 years of losing before we change something up. I just don't think like that. If my quarterback is not producing in the manner that I want him to produce, let's get off of him. Why would we just stick that around? But as he's been showing me different, I've been on his wave and been defending him. I don't root for losing. Like, who does that?
No, I'm not saying that. I think a lot of people actually had opinions of moving on from Jalen Hurts, and we're calling Jalen Hurts bad, not just some Philly fans. I think a lot of people. So I think he's moved up a lot. I just think giving him top 5 consideration is a lot for right now, just off one season Super Bowl run. I thought it was a great season, but I still give majority of the credit of this season to Saquon Barkley in the O-line. That to me, honestly. So I get if you want to give it all to Jalen Hurts now that he won the MVP and had a great Super Bowl, but to me, Saquon was still the MVP of the season, and it really wasn't even all Jalen Hurts this year.
Yeah,
I think Jalen would agree with that.
for sure.
Go ahead.
I agree. Saquon was the MVP, 1,000%. Saquon is our best player. Let me just put that out there. Saquon's our best
for
player.
sure.
I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing that Jalen Hurts' ability to be a good quarterback in this league needs to be seen. I think we just keep moving the goalposts.
But I think we all see it, Jalen.
If you're not giving him top 5, you're not.
No, you can't say that. Well, so okay,
That's crazy work.
No, exactly. I don't think that's fair. So
remember, Eli Point was great, Milton. In just retrospect,
You're comparing your different areas of football with that.
No, I'm just comparing the success. I'm not even comparing. I'm just comparing the success mixed with does that make you a top 5 quarterback? I understand your point. I promise you, I do. But that's why I brought that up. Hence why you beat that one. I didn't get you on that one. I that's why I brought up Russell Wilson. I could bring up Big Ben. I could bring up those people. But anyways, what I wanted to get at is like Jalen Hurts. I don't want to keep talking about Jalen Hurts because it's going to sound like I'm a hater. But I'm giving his due. I'm not moving the goalpost whatsoever. But just because I have him at the outskirts of the top 5, number 6, that's not me hating on him. It's not like I had him number 5 or number 6, number 7 last year, and now he's just the same. He moved up extremely well, and he's playing much better. I'm a Jalen Hurts fan, but over the top 4 guys, the 4 little horse. Yeah, I can't.
Okay, so I guess so we could be fair with each other. Jalen, if Jalen Hurts gets a first round exit, where do you have him?
If he gets first round exit next year with the same team?
No, I meant this year. If he had gotten a first round exit, somehow Green Bay upsets him or whatever, where would you have had him? Would you have kept him in the top 10?
He's a top 10 quarterback in today's NFL. Okay. Even if he got a first round exit. We have people in here that didn't even make the playoffs, and we got some in here. I'm just saying, and we have some in here that didn't make the playoffs.
It's not like Milton said Drake May.
Yeah, like we got. We're talking about Brock Purdy. So somebody got Brock Purdy on their list, right?
I got Brock Purdy.
My top 8,
but not. Go ahead.
My top 8 were all playoff quarterbacks. 9 and 10 were.
None of us had Brock Purdy over Hurts other than Cody.
But I'm just saying to Jose's point. Even if Jalen Hurts is first,
I'll switch that for Jalen.
No, go ahead, Jalen. Go ahead.
Yeah, if Jalen Hurts is a first round exit, that means he was still in the playoffs. He's still a top 10 quarterback in today's football. Like, I would still have him top 10. He won't be where I have him, obviously, because those spots up there for Super Bowl MVPs.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because if he would have exited, he would have had the other guys no matter what. If you're like with putting Jalen Hurts over some of these guys, it's saying the only thing, because he has Super Bowl championship and he has a Super Bowl MVP, that's all I care about. Because everything else, the other quarterbacks have better than him, or better than him at every single statistical category. Everyone.
But again, okay, can we do this then? Since y'all try to, can we look at their head to head? Can we do that?
Head to head doesn't mean anything.
No, can we just do that though?
If you want to, go ahead. If you want to, go for it.
Can we look at when Jalen Hurts played against Lamar, when he played against Joe Burrow, when he played against Josh Allen? Can we see who won those games too?
You can if you want. Right, but that's a team. You just pointed to a team.
I know, because I don't have. I got the picture of Jalen Hurts right there. I will get.
Okay, yeah. Don't do that, please.
Go get it right now, please.
But see,
be like my boy Marco last year. Bring out your Patrick Mahomes shit. Bring out your Jalen Hurts shit.
But I know you're reasonable enough to know that means nothing. If because a team beat another team doesn't mean the best quarterback won.
Right.
Doesn't mean this quarterback's better because the head to head. This quarterback won more. Right. That doesn't mean anything.
I'm just trying to find something here.
Okay, all right, I get it. All right,
you know what I mean? But it all is logical and it all makes sense of what I'm saying. But I get that doesn't always go into this is why this person is better than. I get it's a team sport. I get all that. But what I'm saying is, I really feel my argument is not just the Super Bowl MVP. I want to keep saying that, but also I'm taking into account. I know we think about this, it's also the system he plays in. He plays in a run-heavy system. So, of course, his numbers aren't going to look as good as a Joe Burrow who drops back 45 times a game. It's just not comparable. And
that's Brock Purdy. You just brought up Brock Purdy. Even Brock Purdy.
Ooh,
A run first system, but last year had a better career, a better season than Jalen Hurts ever even sniffed at. Now,
Right.
I hate to I don't want to shit on Jalen Hurts, I promise you, but with that same logic, it can just turn.
Right.
Because
But then-
I've heard
but then-
you. Oh, I've heard the Brock Purdy hate on your stuff,
He
and it
sucks.
drives me in. Okay, all right. All right.
Brock Purdy, you know why? Because he's not a Super Bowl MVP quarterback.
Okay, all right. Let's.
Wait. Milton, what happened to Brock Purdy this year when he shipped away all his best weapons?
And
When
his
he was-
offensive line, yeah.
No, when they started dropping every
His
throw.
offensive line was never good. It was always
Yeah,
just Trent Williams.
Yeah,
Right.
but then he got hurt. So yeah,
Well-
I'm with you. I with no
You're gonna-
offensive line, we
You're
see
gonna
what
pay him 60 mil?
No, probably no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But
he's
I mean,
not.
if I have to, you have
No,
to.
Ew,
What other
no, you don't.
What other quarterback are you gonna get?
I can get Sam Donald for nice
No,
35. I
We've
can
seen
get
that. We've seen that though. Sam Darnold
Kirk
with
Cousins.
Kyle Shanahan offense doesn't look the same. Brock Purdy made it look better than any other of these all of these other quarterbacks. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know, but Jalen Hurts might not be top five. Not he is top five. He might not be number 2. I'll think about this after
I
the show.
appreciate that.
let him
Well,
be
after
on
the
his high
conversation,
after
you know what I
3
mean?
days, you know?
Hey, no, Jalen. Hey, he's your number 2.
But no, can we move on to Joe
Yeah.
having Dak in the top 10?
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
do that.
that
was my
was
next thing.
bad.
That was my next
Have
thing.
him at 10.
Yeah,
Have him
I
at
don't
10.
care. All right, you have Dak
No,
at
he's
10.
not top 10.
Yeah, let's
That's-
talk. How is he top 10?
You got to think about
Off
what
of
the
just
hell he
one-
has around him. I'm like, you got to think about the toxicity of Dallas,
Hold on, I'm gonna make our faces bigger. What? Say that again?
the toxicity of Dallas. You got to think about this dude's a 4th round draft pick for a reason. They did not think he was going to be anything like this. And if you think he was, you're lying to yourself. I did not think this. And for him to play the way he's played with Jerry Jones as your owner is not easy to do. Majority of his career, he has been in the playoffs. Hey, in the playoffs, don't get me wrong, he hasn't played his best. You know, I think he only has 2 playoff wins, but he helps get them there to the playoffs. He gets them in position. Then it becomes mediocrity at his best. Everything goes to shit.
Go ahead, Jalen. You're looking through his soul right now. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna be nice. Dak don't have the postseason resume to be considered a top 10 quarterback.
I'm like, I was debating with him, Goff. There's some other guys there, but who would you put at 10 over Dak then?
Wait,
Oh,
Goff's not in your top 10?
No.
He doesn't have Jared Goff or Aaron Rodgers. Again, if we're sticking with my criteria, I think that's crazy.
Hold on.
Having
hold
Dak
on.
over Aaron Rodgers is crazy.
That's fine. Nobody needs Aaron Rodgers. That's why the Jets are getting rid of him.
That's fair. All right.
But Goff about
But
to fall off
Goff?
a cliff. He about to fall off a cliff.
Maybe.
Dude,
Maybe.
with that team that
He has
the
a top
Lions
2
had.
O-line. He has a top 2 O-line.
But look at what he did. Look at what they have, and he held them back. He's holding them back.
Right. You look at the great teams he has, and he can never win
you
with
can say
them.
the same thing with Dak when he
That's
had that
the same-
great
that's the
offensive
same
line. You
argument
can
with
say the
Dak.
same exact
I
thing.
ain't arguing for Dak though.
Yeah, right.
Okay, but that's
Cody's had left the chat. I'm with you.
hold on. You said Joe that Dak is taking the Cowboys to at least to the postseason, even though they have postseason wins. Jared Goff took the Rams to the Super Bowl. He's taking the Lions to not final game division titles. He took them to the NFC Championship game last year.
Right.
We're talking about success in the playoffs. It's Jared Goff over Dak by a mile,
Oh yeah.
by 10 miles, by from us to where Jalen is right now in Dallas. That's how far the gap is between Goff and Dak.
I'm like, I feel like
Damn. I didn't think
I feel like Jared Goff has had it really good, and with the
And
Rams,
Dak
with the
hasn't?
So has Dak, brother.
Bro,
The
Brother,
Rams definitely took
he's
Goff to the finals though, or the Super Bowl though. Not Goff took the Rams to the Super Bowl.
I mean, I know. I would say that postseason Goff did because remember that's when Todd Gurley's knees started to die.
Yeah,
in the
maybe
regular
the
season,
postseason,
in the
you're
regular season,
Yeah.
it was Gurley, but it was postseason Goff.
Yeah, he played.
And then look how Goff was until they finally got a team around him. They're horrible.
And look at Dak when they finally got a team around him.
Right,
He
dude.
sucks every year.
When Dak's offensive line got worse, you lost the weapon. Look how Dak was playing before the injury.
I'm
It
like,
was
you
bad.
want like let's look at
Very bad.
last year. Did
If
he
it
not
was
finish
straight
second
regular
MVP?
season,
The last season before he got hurt and all dinged up.
Mhm.
Where did he finish in MVP voting?
Second, right?
in
Second.
the losers,
Has Jared Goff ever been that close
I mean,
as
but I'm not
MVP?
giving.
this
I'm
year
not giving credit to
he
the
was he
closest
had a bit top
loser.
5 this
He
year.
was he was fifth this year.
Yeah,
What are we do? We're giving credit to the closest loser of the MVP. What are
But
we
I'm looking at
doing?
it because we're thinking about it as QB. I'm
To
not
be
thinking
fair, you
about it
did
as team.
hurt.
I'm thinking about it as a
And
QB.
as a
Joe,
QB,
Joe, I could be fine with you having Dak in the top 10, but he ain't over Goff.
I'm like, after 9, it was really highly debatable to me. Goff,
Well,
Dak
read your
Prescott.
10 again. Read your 10.
Okay, 10 was Dak, 9 was Brock, 8 was Herbie, 7 was CJ, 6 was Jalen Hurts, 5 was Matt Stafford, 4 was Joe
Hey.
Burrow.
Deport Herbie immediately. Deport Herbie.
all right, come on. Oh yeah, I forgot. That's what you said you wanted to do with me. Okay, come on.
No, yeah, the Herbert's
tell
not
me-
top 10. He's not top 10.
Okay, tell me why, please.
Easy.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Okay.
Go ahead.
So what is it now? Is it back then before he got Jim Harbaugh? He had the weapons. He didn't have the coach. Now he has the coach. He doesn't have the
No,
weapons.
he didn't have the offensive line. That was the issue when he had Keenan Allen. He had no offensive line. And then when in the playoff run, he had Keenan Allen. He didn't have Mike Williams. Keenan Allen did his thing, but he had no offensive line.
Shit, Mike
No running game.
Williams never been healthy in his life.
Yeah, fair enough. But go ahead, Jose.
I
Keep
mean,
going.
but either
That's
way,
my-
like,
that's my-
okay. Either way, when you went to the playoffs that first time around, your defense did give you 5 picks. Let's not forget that.
Right.
And then you did not capitalize as the leader of the team, as the highest paid player on the team, to execute and keep the momentum. Yeah, the kicker missed 2 kicks and whatever.
Yeah, then
We still-
Staley was
we
going
still-
for it every 4th down.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They scored 3 times off of the 4 interceptions.
That's right. They still choked it.
At
The
the end,
freaking
yeah.
Jaguars did what the Chiefs couldn't do this past weekend. They came back from fucking 24-0.
Yeah.
They came back
Like-
from a deficit.
If you have a competent head coach with the Chargers at
Okay,
that
so
time,
what happened this year when they have a competent head coach and they fucking got smashed by the Houston Texans when everyone favored the Chargers to beat them because the defense was stout. Derwin James was on top in Alex's opinion. Freaking Khalil Mack was on a run. Joey Bosa. And this what? Because it's just Lad McConkey. Because Quentin Johnson's not the guy who they expected.
You know that's true.
It's true, but why am I paying $54 million to Justin Herbert then?
Right.
do the
but
job- to
that's
do the
the
job-
quarterback.
Yeah, but we are asking Justin Herbert. We are asking these quarterbacks. Are we going to pay the highest paid guys to do something? Jalen Hurts is the first $50 million quarterback to go and win a Super Bowl. You know that?
Yeah, that's great. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Right.
And
Say
they were
again.
like,
Pat didn't have his
no, he's
big contract
45 million. He's 45 million.
Oh, okay. When he got it, then that's when everybody went crazy with it. Then
Yeah. So
But-
Jalen Hurts is the first $50 million quarterback to freaking win the Super Bowl. But still, if we're asking Justin Herbert, it's 5 years. It's 5 years. If we're going by your criteria, Milton, it's 5 years of zero success in the postseason.
Okay.
And if we're going to compare it to what Joe's list, where he doesn't have Goff in the top 10 because he thinks everyone else carried him, well, then what are we doing with Justin Herbert? Because Justin Herbert has 0 wins, and before this season, he was a below 500 quarterback.
Yep. Okay.
Justin Herbert can't get that love just because of the talent. Because if that's the case, then we're going to give a bunch of guys who have talent up here.
No one. We can't. So I get your point, and that's why it was hard for me to really even put him there. And that's why if y'all have a good, other than me and Jalen talked off air, and everything that Jalen just said, honestly, I'll switch it. I'll have Jalen Hurts number 5, Justin Herbert number 6. Fair enough, just because of playoff success. But regular season success, it's not even close. It's not even close. If we talk about completion percentage, which I don't really care for, but if we just talk about it, he has better. Touchdowns, better. Interception ratio, better. Yards per game, better. Who sacked more? So, this guy has a better offensive line. Justin Herbert sacked more. Justin Herbert, that. Fourth quarter comeback, since Jalen Hurts is the quote-unquote, he's a better comeback guy than Herbie. He's not. Fourth quarter comebacks, Justin Herbert. Game-winning drives, who has more? Justin Herbert. Dropped percentage. What wide receivers are dropping more balls? Justin Herbert wide receivers. And this is overall through, I see 2020, because that was when he started his career. But actually, I took the 2020, I took both of their rookie season away because that wasn't fair to Jalen Hurts. QBR, of course, that's Herbert. So I get the playoff success. I get it. I that's why I say I will actually, even though all of that, Justin Herbert is just a better overall quarterback with less help, I will still give Jalen Hurts a nod because of the playoff success. But as a quarterback, he's not better than Herbert. And Herbert
So-
should be on a top 10.
So
That's what
let
I'm
me
saying.
put it
It's
like
easy
this.
to prove that other quarterbacks pass better and better quarterback than Hurts.
So let me put it like this. Like before, I was not highly on Justin Herbert. I've been like stated on this pod in the past, and I said that they were going to make the playoffs. All y'all looked at me crazy, and I was like, look at the coaching staff he has. Look at what the offensive line was going to be, and I'm gonna pull up his numbers this year. Almost 3,900 yards, 23 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. I'm like, with that offense, the way it looked, does Jared Goff get that team to the playoffs? Probably not. Does Brock Purdy get to the playoffs? Probably not. Dak Prescott? Probably not. And that's why I look at it like that.
You said he had 39 touchdowns this year?
No,
That's
23.
Oh, 23. Okay. I don't know why. I had
3,900 yards.
Oh,
Yeah,
3,900
3,900
Okay.
yards
All right,
and
all
3
right.
interceptions.
Hold on,
So-
real quick. Let's get to Chi-Town. I'll say stop. You ready to throw golf in the
Golf.
Gulf of America? That's stupid.
Golf
Okay.
of America.
I'll say what I love, Peyton. Why are you spelling everything incorrectly, Chi-Town? Does he do this on purpose?
No,
Peyton,
that's how he spells.
oh, that's not good. Okay. Talk less about him because
He also voice text, so he it's fucking runs on and on and on and on. So yeah, if you ever get in a text thread with him, you'll see like a whole essay with no period in the middle.
wow. But do you want to, Jose? I'll give you leeway before I want to hear your top 10. But if
Okay,
you
so
wanna-
my top 10.
Go ahead.
Here's another thing I didn't mention. All these guys have playoff success once upon a time ever in their life. So
first define terms real quick for me. So your criteria is what making this list?
it's momentum, like we mentioned earlier. It's guys who I feel like could, take a team, who I feel like they could actually take a team and have playoff success. I mean, it's just, to me, it's the guys who have been at least best for a minute. And like, look, the reason I wasn't shitting on Joe for 10 for Dak is because that's where I have Dak. He's a 10. He's a 10. He's nothing special. He's nothing crazy as a top 5. You gotta realize, like, I'm making a list for next week for the season performance quarterbacks. You know how we did our rankings on my pod?
Right.
After 13, everyone else is like cheeks. So I'm just saying, like, it's like top, like being 10 is nothing sexy to be like. So here's my list: 10 is Dak, 9 is CJ, 8 is Baker, 7 is Stafford, 6 is Goff, 5 is Hurts, 4 is Joe, 3 is Josh, 2 is Lamar, and 1 is Patrick. All playoff successes. All these guys have the playoff success.
You say that, but Dak doesn't have playoff success.
I'm saying as far as he's got wins.
He got wins. Yeah.
That's
Jaden Daniels already got more wins than him. So
Well, come on, Jaden Daniels.
same amount. Same amount.
Hey,
Yeah,
but we
well-
got to think about it this too. We can't just go highly off of rookie success.
But I mentioned earlier that Jalen convinced me I can't be putting freaking rookies this high.
I feel you.
After 1 year. Next year, for sure, Dak will not be here. I'll tell you right now, I'll preview next year. Dak will not be here. Jaden will be higher. Don't worry about it, cuz we're good. We're saying like right now, because if we're just gonna say overall all-time playoff success, then I gotta put Russell Wilson up here. Somewhere I gotta regurgitate Aaron Rodgers, even though he's got one leg and isn't even allowed to be on the Pat McAfee show anymore, according to the Jets. So
Hey, who do you have number 6? Hold on, real quick.
He can be back on there now.
Who do you have number 6? Jose, who do you have number 6?
Goff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Having Dak in the top 10 is crazy.
Why? Let me ask you this, Jose, because
it would have been Jaden Daniels, Jalen, if it wasn't for you. Okay.
Why not Brock? Why not Purdy? Why Dak over Purdy?
Because I've been a guy that, like how Jalen says, he like how people want to say Hurts has the ultimate team, right, of all these guys. So did freaking Brock Purdy. Everyone doesn't want to, like, CMC, Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, Trent Williams. Like, what are we talking about? And then you got Kyle Shanahan, the offensive-minded genius who can get
the guy
any
who
quarterback.
lost him the Super Bowl, though.
Yeah, 0-3. He doesn't shit, but I mean, still, he gets to the Super Bowl, right? Like, He took Jimmy G to the Super Bowl, Cody. Like, come on, bro. Like,
But no, what I'm saying is he smoked that Super Bowl. They would have won. They kept running Christian McCaffrey. He looked like Pete Carroll.
and he could have kept running on Tom Brady and the Patriots in freaking 2017, but they didn't do that either. So
Yeah,
it's whatever. But it's all people are gonna say. Maybe not you, Cody, but Kyle Shanahan's a top 5, head coach.
I think he's
for a lot of people.
overrated. Yeah.
Man, it's tough.
As I'm starting to see, I felt like a few
Right.
years back he was, but I'm starting to feel like he's a little overrated now.
That's a different yeah, that's a conversation. When it comes to Brock, yes, he had a bunch of weapons, but what did he lack? Offensive line. So it's not the
Fair.
same as Jalen. It's not the same as that because Jalen Hurts does have. And again, I'm just gonna stop. Actually, I just think Brock Purdy should be top 10. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not sounding like a Jalen Hurts fan.
You keep throwing Jalen Hurts.
I know I can't do this. I can't keep doing this. No, I don't like this. No.
Look, Brock Purdy is fine. Like he can still move up. No one's saying he can't move up, but I'm just saying dude, look at me how I have CJ on here. CJ lost both wide receivers 2 and 3 this year drastically. He didn't have an O line, and he still made the playoffs. Yeah, obviously with a shitty division, right? But still, and even then, the NFC West was competitive as fuck, and it's not like the Niners couldn't have done it. He just wasn't good enough to get them over the hump because it was up for grabs for the last few weeks.
You're not going to blame it on him. It's the defense couldn't stop anything.
I can blame him.
But if you're gonna put him that highly, you have to hold him accountable as high as you're gonna.
Yeah,
do.
especially if he's gonna be asking for $60 million contract too, just like that. And then what? And then when they give it to him, what's gonna happen with that team? They're already gonna get rid of Debo. They're gonna have to strip away a lot from him.
Question for y'all. I want an unbiased opinion, so I can't answer this myself. Y'all think CJ Stroud gonna take a team friendly deal whenever his contract comes up?
No.
I
me the money.
Okay, they can offer him after this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets somewhere between 58 to 62 million.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls in that, but I also wouldn't be surprised with how he is that he might want to work something, or I don't know.
What did you say, Jalen? You said something.
I said another overpaid quarterback, and I'm not just saying because I see a shot. My quarterback is overpaid too, so.
That's right.
You
think they should reset quarterback market? That might be good.
Yes.
I'm like they should do it how back in the day the NFL draft. Remember whenever those guys would get paid astronomical amounts of money, and then Sam Bradford fucked it up for everybody. And they had to go back to.
I've been saying that no one should have been getting paid more than Patrick Mahomes' contract unless you win a Super Bowl yourself during that time, which Jalen Hurts now has earned. Everyone else
it should almost be like how it should almost be how the NBA has certain criteria where you can only get a supermax if you play X amount of games, if you make an All Pro, if you get an MVP, Pro Bowl, like stuff like that to get a higher contract, like a supermax.
And you stay with your team.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
Well, that's also tougher to do because you have less opportunities with the amount because only like 2 quarterbacks can get all pro, right? So
right. Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. You make the Pro Bowl, or you like other criteria.
Playoff games.
Yeah, you win an X amount of playoff games within your time
Passing there. Yards, touchdowns, kind of shit.
Oh, like incentives.
And to go back to being Dak at 10, like I said, everyone else above him has more playoff wins. So 10 is fine. 10 is fine.
Hey, so Jalen, hold on, let me see. Okay, you don't have either one, so this will be a fair question to you. Who would you put ahead of the other? Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy. Unbiased.
Dak Prescott or Brock Purdy?
Yeah, because you have a. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
No, you have an agenda for one. You hate Dallas, but then also you always say Brock Purdy sucks. So
both these guys suck.
Okay. Sure.
So,
right.
But if I have to pick one, like realistically, I'm putting Dak above Brock Purdy, just because one, I like his stature of a quarterback. Brock Purdy, again, I feel like Dak. I've seen him with good teams. I've seen him with bad teams. He's still a doable quarterback. He just, again, he makes bonehead decisions, but whatever. Brock Purdy, I've only seen Brock Purdy with a loaded team, and that's where the difference is. Real quick, with Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy. Jalen Hurts' first year when he took the reins as starting quarterback, the first full year, his WR1 was Devontae Smith,
right,
and his running back was Miles Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
that was it. He had a good O-line, but he didn't have the weaponry. Like Brock Purdy came into the 49ers and has had nothing but weapons since the first day he's took the reins there. So there's the difference there. So I will take Dak Prescott because I've only seen Brock Purdy with good teams. And when I didn't see him this year with the studs all over the field, he sucks.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's be fair too. Like I said, like once you pay Brock Purdy that $60 million contract, the way his team looked like this year is the same way it's going to look the next few years.
That's the issue.
Jawan Jennings is going to be his wide receiver 1.
Yeah, that's the issue. That's the issue because
I mean,
go ahead.
Even if you compare though that season you're talking about where Jalen Hurts took over reins to this last year of Purdy and what he did with a bad team, Purdy still did better. So
Jalen Hurts got to the playoffs.
I see. I hate you, Jalen. Sometimes
He did.
no, you're right. You're right. I'm not saying you're right.
Playoffs,
Good.
we gotta stop. We cannot forget about winning, guys. When we're doing this, we gotta remember winning.
When Brock started, he got hurt.
The playoffs.
Right when Brock
got
started,
hurt. Then the next year,
Brock's whole team was injured. They had like the biggest injury bug in the past 5 years.
they need to fix that. That's
Hey, that's why I worry for Saquon. If they make him the Madden cover like I think they will, it's not. He's gonna have that Madden curse plus the RB curse. RBs don't do well after a career year the following year. So I'm praying for Saquon and Derrick Henry because they obviously.
Listen, I feel you, but next year ain't about Saquon. Next year about AJ Brown. AJ Brown gonna be a
AJ Brown's gonna get traded to the Patriots. I'm trusting right now.
I don't think so.
It's gonna get traded.
I actually think Jalen's onto something. So remember, when we were going to the Super Bowl and we were previewing it, Jose, I'm not going to put words in your mouth or anybody on your panel. So I don't know what I didn't even say anything. So I don't know if y'all also, somebody also said this, but I said Jalen Hurts it's going to be a Jalen Hurts game and he's going to be the MVP. Everybody else, said Saquon, or again, you are going for the Chiefs, right? So I think this next season, I agree with Jalen. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be pushed to do more because he's not going to say he has to, but they're going to stop Saquon more often than they did this year because they're going to have more tape because they didn't know, is Saquon washed or not? I don't know. I mean, if you play for the Giants, maybe it's that because of that, or maybe he's just washed, et cetera, right? This year, that's not going to be happening because we know what Saquon can do behind a good offensive line. So I think Jalen Hurts is going to have to step up to an extent where he's going to have to do more. And I think he will produce. Unless y'all get a weird OC, which just ruins your team. But I don't think that'll happen.
If he has an MVP season, he could definitely move up in the top 5 then, Jalen.
He's the best.
Stop, Jalen. Why do you have to do
Best quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
So you just started watching football this year, Jalen?
Yeah. If I did, what's crazy? Somebody said this off subject a little bit. They said if you only watch the playoffs, you would not think Lamar Jackson that good of a quarterback.
I said that. I mean, I've been a hater, but whatever.
Oh, we know.
Like I didn't think about it like that. But I was like, yeah, if you only watch the playoffs, you look at this Lamar guy. It's kind of iffy.
If you just casuals,
you would have thought Jaden Daniels was the GOAT.
You would this playoffs. He led in touchdowns,
yards, passing
yards. I mean, the brother balled. Like was it for a rookie season? But Jose, you said this in the comments earlier, and I should have said it earlier, but it is what it is. What will Pat Mahomes need to do to be back in the GOAT conversation? Jose,
in the conversation that takes 7 rings. Because he's not going to get three-peated. He's not going to get the shot for a three-peat again. I promise you that.
So let Joe, Cody, Jalen, and then I have one point that unless y'all cover it, go ahead.
With Pat, to me, man, he needs to go on another run. Brady had like 2-ish runs, once in the beginning of his dynasty, and then the back end where it's Pat / Tampa Bay. He's gonna have to go on another run to even get on there. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, hopefully they fix his offensive line ASAP, or if not, this dude's gonna get hurt, and I do not want to see that happen.
So what will it take?
I'm like a better O-line.
What does that mean? No. So like how him to get back in the GOAT conversation, not for him to get better.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have to win at least 4 more Super Bowls.
Okay.
Like that's the only way we're gonna be able to compare him to Tom Brady because he's already lost 2 Super Bowls. So if he loses one more, I think by all means he's no longer in consideration at all. Because you got to think about it, how many Tom lost?
He could lose one more because Tom went 7-3.
Yeah, he lost.
Oh, 3. Well,
So
3,
like
but
if he loses 2 more, then you could. That's
well,
a
I
tougher
think if he
conversation.
loses 3, they're gonna be like, well, Tom only lost 3. He lost 3 too, and then 2. The point differential thing, I've never ever heard this as many times as my life. Point differential and losses in Super Bowl, and the 2 that Pat has lost -40, and the 3 that Tom Brady has lost -15.
Better recognize.
We never got bent over.
Never got bent over. All right, go ahead.
He got bent over twice.
I'm glad I got somebody.
You just got half bent over by the same guy twice, so it equals.
Hey, at least he was nice enough to use lube. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, Tom and Jalen didn't use lube. They went in wrong.
He took out the dinner and everything. So whatever. Jokes
Is
on
Jalen frozen down there?
No, you're good at
I'm
that.
locked in.
Yeah, he's in the mode.
Cody, go ahead. You're more of one. You think that we have a narrative or something, but I want to hear your.
Yeah, do.
What will put him back? And I think we should rehash this GOAT conversation because now it's done. Go ahead.
Yeah. So to settle your nerves, I know y'all were nervous for a little minute, so y'all can relax, take a deep breath. It is dead for this moment at least, but I'll make this prediction, and it might be a little bold prediction, but this is what I think. I think Mahomes will probably go to another like 5 or 6 bowls. So by the time his career's done, now maybe he doesn't get a chance to three-peat, but I think maybe he does do another back-to-back. I don't know if Tom did multiple back-to-backs.
Just one.
So that will be. I think he could maybe have that kind of angle. I think if he gets to 6 rings and he blows all the records out, he'll be in that conversation. Will he pass Brady after missing the three-peat? I don't know. That might be really hard to do. But I do think he definitely has the possibility to still be in contention. His projection is definitely on line. If you're really being honest, it's on line to pass Brady still, even with the loss. But we'll see if it goes through.
Like stats wise, right?
Right. Well, not just stats wise, but the amount of trips to Super Bowl. If he kept his pace up, I mean, he would. You know what I mean? Even if you took another 5 Super Bowls, you won 3 of them. I mean, you know what I mean?
Attempt.
Yeah.
He's right. Yeah.
So
Or
if he goes another 6 Super Bowls in the next, let's
6.
say 10 years, right? Because it'll be year 18 or whatever. Is Andy in all of them too, or is Andy gone by then?
Shoot, he's probably gone in the next 3 years.
Yeah, Andy ain't gonna be there forever, but as we've seen with Bill Belichick, the coach is not everything. So, and Patrick Mahomes is definitely a great talent aside from.
It's
Andy
not everything, but it is something.
I mean, the offensive.
I mean, Mahomes is more though talented than Tom Brady. Would we not say?
Of course.
So Tom Brady could leave Belichick and go do that. I wouldn't put no doubt in Mahomes.
Well, I would say it's coachability.
So Brady won 6 though with Belichick and then 1 with Todd Bowles, right?
Bruce
Arians. Yeah.
So you got to think about he won majority of all his Super Bowls with 1 coach. Andy Reid's not going to be there for much longer.
I will be fair, Cody, that what Tom left a bad Patriots unit to a good Bucks unit.
Right.
Bucks were just missing a quarterback.
Yep.
That proved when they moved on from Jameis and got Tom.
Correct.
Like they just obviously, and it took a long time in that season for them to match. It took them 13 damn weeks.
And they had like 2 missing pieces on the offensive line, which they fixed for Brady. Go ahead.
Right. So that was the benefit for Tom there for his last title.
Right.
But Patrick, we know Kelsey's on his way out in the next year, at least within the next year for sure. Like he might have one last season, just like Jason Kelsey did after he lost the Super Bowl. He had one more season and left him, and was he there? And then, but if you look like losing Kelsey and Andy Reid will do a lot. Now I know the Chiefs' job will be the highest sought coaching job out there because you get to coach Patrick Mahomes,
right?
But that doesn't mean they're gonna bring in the right guy. We don't know that yet, right? It's
fair.
I just hope they don't upgrade to Matt Nagy by any means.
And
I don't think Matt Nagy will get a coaching job again or head
and
coaching
as
job.
much as I'm a pro for, I really do want Mahomes to make it a competition to pass Brady. I like that kind of stuff, like that. To me, that's greatness. I want to see greatness versus greatness. So, but I don't want to see Pat Mahomes leave the Chiefs and go join a loaded team, because that would be fucking insane. That'd be like LeBron going to the Miami Heat. You know what I mean? I don't want to see that, but I mean, if Pat Mahomes does that, then you really might have to look out. He could definitely do some shit.
But if Pat did it like year 18, would you hold it against him? I don't think so.
No.
It's different from prime Braun, right?
I'm saying
if he would do
Reed
it like right
leaves.
now, right now.
Now, Jalen, sorry, left you out. Tell me, what will it take, since you did have that narrative on, all right, if Pat Mahomes wins this, he'll become the GOAT. So what will it take now, in your opinion, for that to occur, or at least become in discussion again?
Well, see, Pat ruined it. He blew it.
Right.
He didn't even try. Okay, because
That's
I
He
wanted
wanted to make you happy, bro.
GOAT. I'm a fan of watching GOATs happen in adulthood, so I can say I literally saw his whole journey.
Right.
That's why LeBron is the GOAT. I saw his whole career. LeBron is the GOAT. I wanted that for
We're
Pat.
not about to get into this.
Yeah, hey. I wanted that for Pat. Pat sucks. So he didn't do it. I'm kidding.
I got it. Hyperbole, everybody. Look it up. Go ahead.
Yeah. So he didn't do it. So now that he pooped it, to be the GOAT, right? You got to get 8 rings. Is he going to do that?
Yeah.
No. So this conversation is over.
Yeah, that's Jose's point. Yeah.
He's not getting 8 rings. He has to get 8. He can't tie Tom Brady, because the way he lost his Super Bowls took him out of that discussion.
That's fair.
Raw.
Yeah, raw. It was pretty bad.
So
What if he got? Okay, go ahead. My bad. I thought you were done.
Oh, okay. I was saying, if he would have lost those Super Bowls by 1, 2, 3 points, cool. If he even maybe got 6, we can still have the conversation.
Yeah.
But now that he's getting his ass whooped in these Super Bowls, and it's not even close, he has to get at least 8. Like, he has to. And if he doesn't do that, TB12.
Okay. What are you gonna say, Cody?
I was gonna say, so say he does leave the Chiefs after the whole Andy Reid and Travis Kelce split, and he wins 3 rings and ties Tom Brady with another team. Is that impressive that he did it with 2 teams, or?
Nope.
No,
it's impressive.
No, but I'm saying if he ties, he has to pass them in y'all's eyes.
He has to pass them.
He has to have 8.
Because he doesn't have just the criteria of, hey, I'm 7, you're 3. He has the I beat you twice and once in the Super Bowl.
No, but Milton just explained to y'all how that head-to-head bullshit don't
I
count.
don't. That's Milton's thing. I've been saying this for decades. I don't care. Since Patrick Mahomes was born, I've been saying this shit.
Yeah. Since Brady beat him in the Super Bowl as well, you got it. Yeah, because that means that's 1 on your head. And
So if you tie rings though, and you own all the stat records though, how is that not better?
So that's where I differ, and I have a different opinion. So I think if Pat Mahomes, because Tom Brady had 3 totals MVP
losses. Okay.
Hey, Cody,
can I work again? Hey, can we work against Mahomes that he has 18-week seasons compared to Tom's 16 weeks?
It definitely can, but that's
because
that means Tom had less wear on his body by the time the playoffs came, right?
No, not the way the NFL is now.
Whoa.
Definitely not. No.
Not with the rules. If we also want to go back to rulings.
Yeah, Brady got the benefit of the rules, but he also went to where they didn't get benefit.
And Cody, we know from the Houston game, Patrick Mahomes got some benefits from the rulings too.
Yeah. Both of them do. I can say from even against the Texans.
I'll say this: I've never seen Tom Brady not get hits, but the other 2 players hit each other, and he got a phantom call. I've never seen that.
That was bad, and I didn't see Tom Brady flop. That was Brady, really bad.
Even as sloppy as a runner as he was, he never flopped. So he didn't. That was not part of his thing.
Every time Tom felt ugly, like like slow and like I just gotta remember he's unathletic as fuck.
Yeah, that's it. And he's small. He's tall. He's like 6'4", 6'5", so it's fair. But what I was getting at is, I think if Pat Mahomes can get 7, but also have 5, 6 MVPs, I think it's definitely a discussion.
How many
because
Rodgers got again? 4?
Rodgers got 4.
4.
If
Okay.
I'm mistaken.
And he's got the most, right? For
No.
QB.
No, Peyton's got 5.
Peyton's got-
You're right.
that's right.
Peyton
Yeah.
sure does. Peyton sure does.
And he's got 2 rings, and he's not in the conversation.
He's conversation. Peyton top 5.
He's a solid top 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
solid top 5 for sure. Go ahead, Jalen.
Me?
Yes, Jalen. Yes,
Okay, I have a question.
Nope.
please.
So can we finally say that the NFC East is the best division in football because we're the
No.
only division
No.
with multiple Super Bowl champions. We're the only division. So is it safe to say, finally, give us our credit that we are the best division in the NFL? And who's
Finally,
gonna
we
argue
can
that?
agree.
I will never give the Dallas Cowboys shit, Jalen.
I'm just saying, he's not really giving the Cowboys anything.
Yes, he is.
Yes,
You
it
give
is.
in.
I
You
mean,
see how
it
happy
is-
Joe looks right now? He hasn't looked this happy since 1996. He hasn't looked this happy since 1996 when he was born. When
I'm just
when
saying,
the
we're the only
doctor
division
pulled
with
him out and
multiple-
said,
All
"You're
right,
a
yo,
Cowboys
I gotta
fan."
All right, Cody. Thank you,
Yeah.
bro.
All right. See y'all later, y'all.
You see what you did, Jaden? You see what you did? You give them a mansion, they take a fucking mile.
I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, it's a valid question and a valid debating
The
topic.
NFC beast for a reason, baby.
All right, see, never mind. I take it back. Yeah, you're right.
30 years of poverty, and this man think, no, I'm not gonna hear that shit.
Hey,
Yeah,
Call
I
it
thought
what
you
you
were-
say. We can go 0-18, and we're still getting talked about.
well, because y'all,
Yeah, because you're
have
only
to.
18.
And that's Jerry Jones's thing. He wants to be
That's
talked about, and it works.
ESPN.
Yeah,
all
that's why y'all gonna
media
trade
outlets.
Michael Parsons, right?
That's gonna be
Hey,
hilarious. I hope
Hey,
you do.
if he continues to act the way he's acting, I would not be surprised if they do it this
Oh,
NFL draft.
whoa! Look at you, huh? Put the big trousers on. Yeah, let's get rid of Micah. Yeah, let's
I'm like, I don't
trade-
think we should, but it just the
Okay,
cap
good.
hell we're about to get in.
Well,
It's all-
trade Deron Bland and Trayvon Diggs. They're taking too much money from y'all too.
Yeah, for sure.
well, not DeRon Bland yet. I'm like, they're not going to resign him anyway. So
What's the likelihood that the Philadelphia Eagles repeat without offseason inquiries? We don't know what's happening in the offseason.
I'm sorry, Jaden. I'm just gonna say now, no, you're not repeating.
Telling me why. Tell him why, actually.
Jalen, I'm gonna tell you why. It's because one, repeating is tough shit to do. And we saw the Chiefs. It took them 20 years from the last repeat we saw, and we saw a lot of great teams in the middle,
Right.
and we never got to see a repeat. I think Seahawks attempted a repeat. Did the Steelers attempt a repeat? I'm trying to remember. That was back-to-back years.
They lost the next one.
Yeah, that's what. So like it's tough. And the Patriots attempted a repeat again, but guess who stopped them? The Eagles. So it's not easy. You also have a tougher schedule this year. This year you had a second place schedule. Now you're back to a first place schedule. You do get to see the Lions. You do get to see Buffalo. You get to see the Chiefs in the regular season. You have a tougher schedule this year. So I'm just saying. I got y'all go. Honestly, I do got you out. Early predictions. I got you going as far as the NFC Championship game against the Lions.
Yeah, y'all are too good. Y'all are very good.
Yeah, but I can't say repeat because that's tough. That's why I couldn't give the Chiefs last year. Well, I gave them three-peat back to back once they got past whatever, because I didn't think the Niners. I didn't think Brock Purdy was going to stop them. But I couldn't say three-peat, and it's tough. Back to back is tough. It's so tough.
Tell me, Jalen, how y'all gonna repeat?
I don't know. It's just I gotta see about these offseason, but without the
Right, of
offseason
course.
moves and everything,
let him
Of
enjoy
course.
it.
You're right.
I can see. I can see us going again. I get that we'll have a harder schedule, but
Why do you do that? Because this season y'all had a decently easy schedule. I don't know why.
I mean we swept the AFC North. That's not easy.
Maybe that's why. Because at first we all thought the AFC North was going to be very good, and we realized that was.
I mean, 2 playoff teams and one team right on the cuff. That's a good division.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not like the Patriots division.
The AFC North was good at different times if you think about it.
And then they had Jalen and Milton's favorite team, the Cleveland Browns, in it too.
Hey man,
But I'm
those
just
the past.
saying. But
Sorry.
that's why I said 3 out of the 4 teams. Two of them were playoff team. One was on a fringe of playoff team. So that to me,
Yeah.
that's a good division.
It also helps that in the NFC East, Dallas wasn't competitive.
Well,
So
they
that
never
does
were.
help. That
Or the
does help.
Giants.
Well, no one expected anything from the Giants. So we were saying Cowboys could be playoff team.
I mean,
Not Jalen.
The only thing, the Commanders just took the Cowboys spot this year. That's all it was. Like they just
That's
switched
correct.
for the year.
But you got to remember,
they're never good at the same time. So.
you got to remember though, in that division, there has not been a repeat division winner in over 22 plus years or 23 plus years.
Right,
Well,
we're breaking records because that's why I said this year we were going to sweep y'all.
So bet our money on the Redskins. Got you. I got you. So it's not gonna be the Cowboys.
Yeah,
I'm not betting on them.
I think
Joe is right. So if
we
we don't have repeat winners, so if you do want to put your money on someone not the Eagles,
Question.
it would make sense.
But but not being back-to-back division winners doesn't mean that the Eagles couldn't go back-to-back Super Bowls. It's just
It'll
like
be
I
a
said,
lot harder.
that achievement's a lot harder to do. So that's all I'm saying.
It's just I mean, being a division winner in that division never really bugs me because more than likely we're gonna have 2 teams at the division of playoffs. We always kind of do. So like being a division winner, because that means like how we finished second, the Cowboys could finish like 5th. Like that's not. And then if they
You're so
like,
funny, dude.
I don't know. Like it just never really bugs me that if we win a division or not, because it's like a 1 or 2 game split. It's not like even with the Commanders, they wasn't too far off from where we were. Like they were 2 games, 3 games behind.
2.
Yeah, but it's been like probably like 20 years since like a wild card team has actually won the Super Bowl though. Like it helps win the division.
Giants.
Yes,
For the Giants, well, like 15 years.
Yeah, there's only been 1 7 seed to win.
Then you got to think about it. Like winning the division helps.
Oh, 7 seed to win a game. Yes,
win a game against the Cowboys.
Well, the Packers.
Boo. Sorry.
It's only been 1 since we introduced that.
Yeah, but with the Eagles though, the thing that's going to help them a lot, they have a lot of youth that played very good this past season, and they're only going to get better. Quinion, Cooper DeJean, Jordan Davis is still young. Jalen Carter is becoming probably the best defensive tackle in the league. They have a lot of young guys on that defensive side of the ball.
It's the linebackers for Jalen to me. I think the linebackers.
I'm like Nolan Smith. If Nakobe Dean could just stay somewhat relatively healthy, Zach Bond's
going to leave though. He's not going to be there.
He was a 1 year, $3.5 million. He's going to be asking for at least 10, 12.
Yeah, he's definitely not.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, he want all pro money. Somebody's going to give it to him. Somebody's going to give Zach Bond that money, but we don't want to match.
Right.
Yeah,
but they're going to lose
Howie,
Sweat as well.
I'm like Howie though. It's Howie by any means.
That's true.
And I hate to give him credit, but he's probably like one of the best 2 GMs in all of football. So he's gonna find somebody. He found Zach Brown from the New Orleans Saints and made him.
Well, he's got to find someone to take that Bryce Huff contract because my God, that's horrible right now.
Yeah, I think that was the only thing we did wrong.
That was it. Yeah, I forgot to.
3 years, $55 million.
I had high hopes for him. And Jesus.
Yeah, likewise.
But luckily, you're not paying him $20+ million a year. Like it would be a lot worse.
15.
You got to think about it. 15. A lot of guys get 15 or more, and they're not warranted of that.
Who knows? Maybe this year is the
cap space, but hold on.
Maybe this upcoming year is where he's like, you know what? Last year I just wasn't comfortable with you guys, but I'm a champion. You know,
let's ride.
Trying to be optimistic.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting for Myles Garrett to pull up.
Bro,
if that happens,
that's not happening.
You don't know. You don't know that.
Oh, Cleveland could be one of those teams that will absorb that Bryce Huff contract just to for shits and giggles.
Yeah, just to exchange and then exchange a draft pick or 2.
Be like, give me 2 first-rounders and we'll talk.
Cleveland right now is negative $34 million. Getting off Myles Garrett's contract would be huge.
Yeah,
and they're gonna do it.
So. Myles Garrett pulling up.
I think I think you said it. I don't know where you said it, Jalen, but I think he actually might go to San Francisco.
I got him going to Detroit.
That's also. He's definitely going to contender. Where he might contend. And Detroit has the cap space, I believe.
$55 million.
Right. San Francisco, they're going to have to do something kind of weird. But
yeah, they have 43, and they're going to sign a $60 million quarterback. Just remember that.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see about that.
It won't get hit till later, but yeah.
Right. Well, but fellas, that's all I got. I don't know if y'all got something, but we've been rolling. It's up to y'all, though.
We need to take a nap this offseason, by the way.
That's it, though. Go ahead, Jose.
I was gonna say we need to take a nap. We need to do some debates on for like 30 minutes. So we need to take a nap from these 3-hour episodes.
Yeah. Hey, well, one, it's debates mixed with the conversation, mixed with news. So that's kind of what it is. Of course, I would like a more, structured and all this, but it's all good, dude. I like the dialogue. The way I'll really debate somebody is I really want to start doing that with people I don't know, because then there's no love lost there. I definitely just go in and do whatever I want to do there, but we'll see. We got to get more, popping and where people are like, "Oh, your sports takes suck." I'm like, "Okay, well, come on on."
Or TikToks.
Ask Jalen, just do TikToks, and you'll get a lot of those. Trust me.
That's why I give Jalen a lot of credit and love, because I don't know how he does. Because he knows more than I do. A lot of there's no Jose, you've seen them. There's no debate happening. They're trying to be debate minded, and these guys
trying
are
to
going
be trolls.
Just crazy, like just.
Jaden doesn't help. Well, he brings up Kyle.
And
Kyle doesn't help your shit.
There's no points made. There's no points defended. When you refute them, they go on a tangent somewhere else. I can't do it.
I think I'm the opposite.
My mind pisses. Yeah, I can't do.
But see,
I respect.
But going back to what you said, you don't know them, so who cares? That would help you.
I would want to keep it structured though. Like once they go off, it's like I don't want to just say, "All right, you're out."
That's the best thing about being the host. You can kick them off anytime you want.
That's wrong. Well. Let's kick this out. Everybody that's still here, much love and appreciation. Thank you for still being here. Thank you for everybody that watches a 2-hour, 45-minute show. That's love. Make sure if you at least skip to the end, or people that are still here, like and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, please. Otherwise, you don't really care about us, and we will see you next time.